Time, episode 12. That is what we're on, right? Okay, yeah. I feel like the whole episode 11 mishap threw me off a little bit. But yeah, episode 12. Unfortunately, Boyce will not be joining us today, but we have my good friend Mark joining us. Mark, if you want to tell us a bit about yourself, plug anything.
Yeah, totally. I'm Mark. I'm a film graduate from Wilmington. I recently moved to a new part of North Carolina where I've just been doing different film jobs, photography positions, day jobs, just keeping up to speed on movies and video games. All things nerd. But yeah, it's going pretty good. I guess if I had to plug anything, it'd be just, these guys who have an awesome podcast, and just everybody in my film community and from Wilmington and stuff. Hope they're doing good. Hope everybody there is just making it work. That's what I'm trying to do. We're all trying to do.
Yep. Yeah. So we don't have Boyce this week, but we have our other resident cinephile and movie buff. But yeah, we have a pretty.
That's one way of putting it.
Yeah, definitely have a pretty dang hefty list because we didn't do one last week, so we have a couple weeks worth of stuff to catch up on. But before that, we're gonna do the usual what we've been up to, which we skipped last time. So Mark, if you want to go first, just talk about what you've been playing or watching or reading in the world of video games, or any projects
you've been
working on.
Yeah, sure. So I've been doing a couple of different things in pop culturedom. I haven't really played too many games lately, but I have played recently one I was talking with Eric about earlier. It's called Short Hike. It's a good 3D platformer pixel type game. Like something that looks kind of retro, even though it was made a few years ago. One of those games you can play a bird that climbs over different rock formations in a natural park. Like one of those park reserves. It's really nice, fun game. It's relaxing. It just helps me just chill out and enjoy gaming, which I need to do more of. But as for other stuff, I've been keeping up to speed on movies about video games. I've always had a style in my movies that are similar to video game structure. You think back to directors who have that energy of it's like an exciting video game. I think someone like Neville Dean Taylor of that Crank movie series, or maybe the Wachowskis who did The Matrix. I feel like that's very video gamey. I like stuff like that kind of has this punchiness and this willingness to go above and beyond in its stunts and its set pieces, things like that. Those are the kind of movies that I find interesting, especially for blockbusters. But yeah, movies I've been watching. You guys ever seen Death Proof? It's a pretty fun movie.
I haven't. No.
Eric hasn't either. For those unaware, it's a Tarantino film that Tarantino says is his worst. Regardless of what you think of Tarantino, that says a lot about that movie. But I'm of the opinion it's one of his best. Not even kidding. Yeah, it's just it's part of this double feature he did. Another favorite director of mine, Robert Rodriguez, he did a zombie movie he did called Planet Terror, and then Tarantino did one called Death Proof. Think like Barbenheimer, but 2007, basically.
It's the Grindhouse thing, right?
Yes, and before all y'all parents click this off for not safe for work, well, all that means is it was just a form of cinema that was made in the 70s that was basically aimed at exploitation. They're called Grindhouse movie theaters, which were essentially just these pulpy, independent, low-budget theaters that would produce and display movies of the week that were just made for a small audience, that were just made to just make a quick buck for a cheap studio. But through them, you got some of the greatest features ever, like Night of the Living Dead was a B movie from those kind of movie theaters. You got Invasion of the Body Snatchers, old school movies. But then towards the 70s, they started getting more and more intense, independent, gritty, and occasionally thoughtful. That's where a lot of modern directors like Roger Corman and Martin Scorsese got their starts. This movie series, Grindhouse with Rodriguez and Tarantino, was designed to emulate that feel of those old school Grindhouse movies that were very intense, very edgy, very crass, very just in your face with their R rating, essentially. And that's what those movies have. The first one is a really gross but cool zombie movie about like these survivors of a hospital who have to like round up a bunch of it's like Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, just made by Rodriguez, so it's automatically got a thumbs up from me. And then the second one, Death Proof, is an awesome slasher film. Basically, it's like Kurt Russell, the actor, he plays this like killer stunt wild, and he attacks people with his car, but then like this stunt crew fights it back. It's just a wild ride, bunch of great car chases and performances. I just love it all the way around. But I've been talking for like 5 minutes now, so let's hand the speaking stone back to Eric.
No,
One of them, anyways.
I do want to ask though, because I remember you telling me about Crank, which I didn't get a chance to watch, but you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, totally. So that's a great movie. Eric, maybe either I'm gonna. So how do I address? Do you want to go? I'll just say Eric's. Which have either of you seen the Crank movies at all? Any? Yeah.
I didn't even realize there were multiple.
Yeah, Eric Mendiola, you would get a kick out of it. For your Void movies, you would love them. They are absolutely insane. They're awesome. They're essentially just the premise, the idea they came up with for them was, what if we took Speed, the movie, like with Keanu Reeves, where the bus has to go 50 miles an hour and stay above that or it explodes. The premise for Crank 1 is, what if Speed, the bus was a man, and the man had to keep himself moving or he died? That is the premise, and it is the wildest, most insane thing I've ever seen. Maybe it's a roller coaster of like insane rock music, crass jokes, the edgy visuals, just over the top editing. It's just, you gotta check it out. It's not for everybody. Bear in mind, it's very crass, and it's like a GTA 5 movie. That's why I mentioned it. Excuse me. That's why I mentioned it to Eric, because it just. It's very much like a video game, like I was saying with those earlier ones. Like it's very much like it has that energy and that leveling structure that's very unique to video games. Which I think, the more I think about it, like the more I've seen modern movies, like with that and like Scott Pilgrim, and even like shows directly to like The Last of Us, like Arkane. You see video game structure and video game like techniques being applied to modern movie making and TV show making, and I find that interesting. There's several different types of avenues, formats you can do it in. But I always found it fascinating that that's become part of the zeitgeist, even in like sophisticated filmmakers. Like you got the Chernobyl TV show, which is incredibly well made, and incredibly like complex, and that director went on to do The Last of Us, which got, I think, some Emmy nominations for that. So it's no longer a question of can you pull it off, like that sort of aesthetic in movies. It's how can you pull it off. That makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah, totally agree there. I feel like that's why I've never bought into the whole, video game adaptations never work. They certainly 100% can. It's just about who's doing it, how much do they actually care about the source material, and
who's in the helm.
Yeah, and how do they utilize the medium that they're using. So many factors that play a role. But yeah.
I think this Last of Us and Sonic, even to a lesser degree, are fascinating examples of just how wrong that has been years, decades of video game films being, we're taught that they're impossible to be good, and all of a sudden Last of Us comes out with like a Oscar level, very high quality writing. So where does it leave all these other people? Like this guy in what's his name, Borderlands director?
Eli Roth.
Eli Roth. In fact, he was in Grindhouse as part of. He made a commercial for that movie. Fun side fact.
See, and I'm looking at his filmography.
Yeah, I'm not
right
really
now.
too familiar with a lot of his work. So
it's really fascinating how people get a hold of these IPs to make movies. Because I'm looking at his movies and I'm not looking at a lot of bangers. It's very direct to DVD.
Yeah, he's
vibes I'm getting.
He's like the so like if we were ranking the tier list, these kind of like indie like edgy type directors who are in this grindhouse feature. You got the likes of you have some high profile names like Edgar Wright. You got Tarantino. You have Robert Rodriguez. On the flip side of that, you also got some very let's call them
questionable.
Their own questionable choices like Eli Roth, Rob Zombie, and also Robert Rodriguez to another extent.
Yeah. It makes you beg the question: how did these guys get into these positions? Like Eli Roth.
They're go-getters. They're experimenters.
They know somebody.
Well, that not just that, but like I've been with on my movie podcast I did with Eric. That's one thing I want to plug is bring us some movies if y'all ever want to check that out. But one thing we discussed was how a lot of the directors that we admire in the modern age, the ones that stick to their guns and are willing to try something new with each outing, the one thing that they all have in common is that they had a dedication to delivering something genuinely new, genuinely energetic in their styles. It didn't have necessarily all things in common, but they had traits that fostered creativity. I remember Greta Gerwig of Barbie and Lady Bird and Little Women once described how when she was in the indie scene at first, the mumblecore scene of 2007, she had a very like positive and supporting and nurturing culture for art that she grew up in, and that allowed her to express herself in a really thoughtful and productive way. And artistically, it's shown to work absolutely incredibly well for her.
What you're saying is these movies like Lady Bird would not exist without these 10 other like weird movies that weren't really good, but they were different enough. So these movies need to exist.
Of course, and sometimes like that's just the point with art in general. Is it's like when you're striving to make something that people resonate with and relate to, sometimes it takes a few failures. Like I'm still writing. I'm still not great at all my writing, but I'm okay with that because I know it means that I'm trying and I'm putting the attempt out. I remember there was a great story about how it took Shyamalan, the guy who made Trap recently. He took him like years to get his first movie financed, and when he finally got it, he tried to buy every copy back because he was so disappointed in how he did. And he made The Last Airbender, so if he didn't like it, it must be bad. But no, he's a great director. I'm serious. Like the point
he's weird.
He's like hit or miss.
He's just too weird. Yeah, he's too like make up your mind. Do you want to be great or are you gonna release some dog shit, direct to DVD shit? People are saying, he hasn't like I don't know. I watch Moist Critical stuff. I don't watch him as much anymore. Penguin Zero because he just kind of. But he said I really disagree with like the last movie that had was great. I'm like no, was it called Old? That did really well, right? Like reception wise, that wasn't that long ago.
Well, his latest movie, before Trap was Knock at the Cabin, right?
Yeah, that was okay. I heard that was okay.
I like that movie. I mean, also I went in with like low expectations, so like it wasn't hard to impress me. But
you went in with like the Last Airbender expectations.
No, it wasn't that.
What's it? The Last Man on Earth. What's it called? The Last Man on Earth with Jaden Smith. That's the one that I was like, why? Why are you doing this?
I Am Legend.
No, you're thinking of After.
I loved I Am Legend. I Am Legend's great.
I Am Legend's good.
Yeah. I'm like, why is he speaking with his fake? Remember they had like an interview about how Will Smith spoke with like some fake American, like some fake accent from the future.
That was.
He's like, what the hell?
I ain't gonna lie, I like that movie when I saw it as a kid. I haven't seen it since.
No, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
I can't even lie.
We were all on that Jaden Smith because of Kung Fu Karate Kid came out.
It was Kung Fu Kid.
And I was on that train. No, that's what I'm saying. No, I wasn't, dude. That movie was so long. It was boring, dude. It took forever.
Wait, talk about the Karate Kid?
Yeah, the new one. I liked it, but I fell asleep because it was so long. I was really young when I watched it. Hold on. I remember that movie being like 3 hours long.
No, it's not. I have to look this up.
You just said you liked it, but it was too long.
I do agree that Kung Fu Kid. I do feel like Kung Fu Kid.
Wait, it was almost 3 hours. It was 2 hours and 20 minutes. Jesus, I didn't realize.
I'm just gonna say.
Kids film. Well, then I didn't like it. It wasn't good. Then I'll stay with that because for a movie to be good, for me, I have to be awake for it. In Black Panther 2, I fell asleep, but that's because we went at like 2 a.m. and there was a lot of talking in that movie. Don't even try. Don't even say that was one of the best Marvel movies. Don't even start with that shit. It was a good. good. It was a good wake. I think it was a great way to send off. Rest in peace. Chadwick Boseman, man, one of the greats. But as in terms of actual content, the first one was better, in my opinion. It just was.
I'm completely
Perhaps.
flipped. I thought the first one was okay, but the second one really blew me away.
Killmonger's better than I already fucking forgot his name. Namor.
I like Killmonger more.
Killmonger's like the
That's
great.
fair.
He was like the first real villain. He was talking about real situations. He was talking about topics that we don't want to talk about, but that was like all that he was about. His last quote before he dies, I rather sink to the bottom. That shit made me want to cry, dude.
I mean, yeah,
The music.
I think I like the villain more, but I think the movie overall, I like.
Also, what's the name of that actor? He's in the Invincible season 2. He voices Angstrom Levy. He's the father of Killmonger in the past. I forgot his name. I love the actor. He's fantastic. No, he's in This Is Us. I forgot his name though, dude. He's a great actor.
I know what you're talking about, but yeah, he's really good. I can't remember.
It's Sterling K. Brown. Sterling K. Brown. He's a great actor. He plays Killmonger's dad. That whole intro, I love that shit.
What am I talking about? That's how long it's been since I've seen that movie. I'm just like
T'Challa's dad. I forgot his name. T'Chaka. His outfit is like the Black Panther with the robe. That shit looked clean as fuck, dude. I'm like, Black Panther didn't look that cool. I wanted that. They have a Hot Toys figure. Hot Toys? They're like super expensive. They look like statues, but they're action figures. They have one for him, dude. That was like the dopest drip ever.
Fair. I think that, like, if you ask me, I'd say, like, I tune into, like, a Marvel movie every other year. That Black Panther 2 was, like, that was one of my other years, I think. So I might see one this year, maybe. See, I don't know. I've lost track of the plot.
I'll probably definitely see Captain America.
How do you guys feel about all of this Deadpool? Oh man, finally they bringing back the MCU. Do you guys agree with that? They say that they make a joke of that in the movie with a nice pool. Remember, he's like, I think we've been on a steady upstream.
You can spoil it for me though. I don't care.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I mean, that's what happens. They just make so many jokes about how Marvel movies have fell off, and it's been until Deadpool to bring it back, and like ever since Endgame, we've been hit or miss.
Do you think they make Deadpool? In your opinion, as like a huge comic book nerd, do you think that Wolverine and Deadpool, like, do you think it helped bring it back?
I do. Wow. Bro. They have fucking Blade, bro. They brought back Blade.
Are you serious?
They brought back Wesley Snipes, bro. He walks in, dude. I swear, dude. I read comment. I was like, I believe the ones that I heard, they're for everybody, but like his were the loudest. Everybody was losing their shit, and Blade walked across the screen, bro. And he's older, right? He looks like some Dark Knight Returns. Like, dude, he's cool as fuck, dude. He said some funny shit too. He's like, "Y'all motherfuckers, ice skate." No, it's like his last. He said the one thing. And then we don't. I don't think we see them again. Like Gambit, Channing Tatum's Gambit, right? And then we have
I've seen a lot
Jennifer Garner's Elektra. I don't know why they brought her back.
Yeah,
they brought back the worst
that one when I saw her in that. Honestly,
I think that was like, okay, we have to have one that's just like, and this is the easiest one we could get. I think it was very interesting. Budget. Yeah. Let me get the Elektra from the Daredevil that nobody liked. They make a joke too. He's like, she's like, Daredevil tried to, like, Daredevil was there with them. Ben Affleck's Daredevil tried to fight the villains or whatever, and he died. And then Deadpool's like, I'm so sorry about that. And then she's like, it's okay. It's like,
damn.
So I thought that was like a double. Because, like, no one liked that Daredevil, and they're divorced in real life, dude. That shit was funny as hell.
I mean, okay, that makes sense.
Dude, they have a lot. No, there's another joke, too, where Blade is like, I don't like you. And Deadpool's like, yeah, I know. Because in real life, like, the whole thing, like, between the actors of Blade 3, like, they didn't get along or something, right? So they have that as a whole joke.
That's right, because he was in Blade Trinity, the third one.
Yeah, dude, and Deadpool was like, "Yeah, I know." It's so funny, dude. Like some of those jokes. There's another time where, I mean, this is just like Fox is just completely shit on. Like in the very beginning, Deadpool hits the camera. He's like, "Give me 1 second." He goes to another camera, and he's like, Suck it, Fox.
I have a question. Is this an MCU movie? Or is it like just
yeah, no, the Marvel Studios, dude, Happy's in it. Like he in the very beginning, they say the sacred timeline, and then Deadpool's like they don't explain shit about how Deadpool jumps between. It shows up in another universe. And it shows him without his mask, he's in his suit talking to a guy, and then the next shot is Happy. It's so funny. It goes on for like 5 minutes, dude. He's like, I'm sorry, I want to be an Avenger, and Happy's like, I don't know about that, man. Apparently, I'm reading Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to be there. They just released this information, dude. But what they didn't know, it was that he already has plans in the MCU. Doctor Doom, hello. So he had to say no. They didn't know this. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. All the shit coming out. They're releasing a lot of fucking ads and commercials now. I remember one thing that never came out, but I swear to God, the photos are real, is that they had Cyclops on the beach scene with him, like in his X-Men 97 outfit. And wow. I swear to God, I thought James Marsden was there, but no, that shit never came anything. I think that was photoshopped. They are on a beach. I'm just spoiling this whole movie. You're gonna have to put that in the titles, dude. I have to.
I don't care.
It in. Fucking Eric, not Eric, Boyce, dude. Fucking Boyce, if he was here, dude, we'd be talking about this shit because he saw it too. I could send it here. Edit this part out, Eric. All right, what I'm about to say. Dude, that shit was on fucking YouTube, dude. The whole fucking movie was on YouTube, dude, for like a day, and it's like it spelled Deadpool with 2 zeros. It spelled Deadpool with zeros, dude, and like, yeah, dude. But like, no, dude, I watched that fucking movie, and I'm happy I did. I don't think I think it brought it back a lot of the funniness that movies can be. You can tell this was made by someone who's a fan of Deadpool. I mean, this motherfucker wanted to play him since they mentioned that he looked like Ryan Reynolds and a Sharpay. This was back in 2004, man. So they were I think that he was already in mind for the character, but I think that just adds to that. You can tell that he's not doing this for money, you know? And that just goes to show you, dude, it's already fucking domestically, I think, or globally, it's $1 billion. It's already surpassed $1 billion. Dude, all you have to do is fucking make something that people. Dude, Wolverine says fuck. So you know how many times I've been waiting for Wolverine to say fuck you, motherfucker? Just drop F-bombs every 5 minutes, dude. That's all we wanted, and that's all we wanted, man. We got it. Now I got Wolverine being fuck. He still is like the best actor in this.
Does he say
Jackman? He says bub. Oh yeah, dude. He's like, what do you? Is something funny, bub? Dude, fucking.
Thanks. Okay.
He curses a lot, bro, and he's fucking. There's one scene where he makes Deadpool silent, bro, and you'll know that scene when you watch it, bro. But like, he's a great actor. I'm gonna miss this guy, man. I honestly, I would be happy if he stayed Wolverine until like I was 90, but they say that too. There's a joke like till he's fucking 90 because
I mean,
they don't. He's still Wolverine in the end, dude. It's like there's more.
Say that there's a better Wolverine out there somewhere. We just haven't met him yet.
Now it's not fucking Henry Cavill. Get the fuck out of here with that, dude. That was the dumbest cameo.
No.
I didn't like that cameo, dude. He's in the movie as Wolverine. He's a cameo. He's like one of the first Wolverines he runs into. He says the Calverine. So I don't think that's what I was talking about with Boyce, the other podcast. I was like about to mention it, and he said, no, don't mention it. But I think a lot of people agree with me. I think that was like the only one. I think that more people would agree that that's the only one that felt like it was shoehorned in, you know? Honestly, Daniel Radcliffe is still my number one choice, and I'll be pissed if he's not Wolverine. He's the height. He's got the acting chops, you know? You just got to get more jacked. He's lean. And honestly, Jackman was a mix of lean. Now he's buffer, but now we just need a short, thick daddy at Wolverine because that's what he is. He's a short, king, buff as fuck motherfucker, dude, like Tom Hardy, scary motherfucker, you know, just like big. I don't want Tom Hardy either as Wolverine, you know. He's been typecast enough, I think, where I'm honestly, if it's not Radcliffe, who I think is weird enough, it has to be an unknown. Because that's what the fuck? I already forget his fucking name, Superman. I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
You don't want you don't want like an obvious choice. You want something a little more.
No. Yeah, because I mean that's what happened with Jim Halpert as Mr. Fantastic. It was cool, but I'm like, we don't need this. You know what I mean? We don't need superhero. I think I said this a couple times. We don't need superheroes to be played. I think I mean, not fucking Zack Snyder. James Gunn says it best. I think that no, he didn't say anything, but he has the best idea without saying anything. He's like, I don't fucking need Henry Cavill. This is fucking Superman, dude. You know how many actors I can find that look? This guy's fucking scarier than Henry. He's like fucking taller and he's bigger than Henry Cavill, dude. The actor that's playing Superman now. He's a fucking tank, you know. I don't know this fucking guy. I forgot his name already. I don't fucking know his name. Do you understand that he's gonna be a household name now? Like, it's not the actor that makes Superman is fucking Superman, dude. We don't need a fucking actor that this Spider-Man is bigger than Tom Holland, dude. Tom Holland is not Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Tom Holland's lucky to be playing him right now. But Spider-Man Spider-Man's his own character, bro. They should, but right now what I'm saying is Spider-Man can fucking jump over here, dude. They'll make another movie Spider-Man, dude. Yeah. We don't need the actor. Christian Bale, Aaron was like, yo, Batman is we already forgot about him, dude. As soon as that warehouse fight came out, we were like, yo, dude, this Batman made that Batman look like a bitch, dude. Yo, this Batman versus Bane, dude. This Batman versus Bane, dude, he'll fucking break his back, dude. He'll be breaking Bane's back. They made like a comic tune. I'll send it. It's the funniest shit, dude. It was like Ben Affleck's Batman versus next to the Dark Knight, dude. And Bane is there, and he's like scared. Dude, just like, leave me alone, dude.
I don't know, when Christian Bale by himself without the costume is doing kung fu and stuff in the ninja suit, I thought it looked cool. I don't know.
The thing that's funny is that he apparently got huge too, dude. He got like super buff, but they didn't. Nolan was like, I don't like it. Lose the weight, and I think they had a good idea, man. He's still the one to thank, dude. Honestly, him and it really just Nolan, dude. Really, Batman Begins just fucking made everything, dark. It's crazy, man.
It really just took that one movie.
Yeah, I just took one movie, dude, honestly. And then we got like fucking Dark Van Stick, and then we got Dark Spider-Man and fucking Ghost Rider, probably. Blade. Honestly, no, dude. Wasn't Blade before that?
It was before that, but Blade was a little corny at times, but that was the point. That's why it was.
But it was dark. It was dark though, right? It was kind of dark. Blade was.
I compare it to like another Rodriguez movie, From Dusk Till Dawn. Excuse the ding sound effect. Sorry about that.
That's one thing that Ryan Reynolds been really funny on social, because he's been sharing photos with Wesley Snipes. That honestly makes my heart like melt a little. So sweet, because there's like we're friends, dude. We're buddies, but like he keeps calling him Marvel Daddy, like he's the real daddy of the Marvel films, like because his movie came out like early as fuck, dude. So I'm like, yeah, he might not be wrong. Yeah, honestly, true. I think it might be before Spider-Man 1, dude.
I'm pretty sure it was. I'm positive it was.
Dude, that might be the same movie in the same universe, dude.
I think the real Marvel person who originated it all, I'll tell you who it is. Here's a little pop quiz for you two nerds, since it's a movie podcast now. What was technically
we'll get back
the first theatrical... Yeah. But first, this question. I want you to tell me, what was technically the first Marvel movie released in theaters theatrically? And this is not a trick question, not a trick answer. I want you to get one guess each. What is your honest opinion?
I already know it's not going to be Spider-Man for how you asked that question.
Nope. It's something more wild.
Is it something obscure, or is it like a popular character?
Except its producer and creator was not obscure. In fact, he made a huge movie that everybody knows. But I want you to take one guess, Eric.
Yeah, get the hell out of here, dude. I was going to say Blade, but then you had to ask me, so I'm like, it's not Blade. But I'm like, it has to be fucking Blade, dude. I can't think of it.
No, because Hulk was what, 2003? No, it definitely wasn't Hulk.
Hulk was 03. That was past Blade.
And that was also after Spider-Man.
Yeah, it was after Spider-Man.
And also Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Is it the Punisher?
It is Howard the Duck.
Oh, right. Because it had
oh, my God.
So that means Tim Robbins. Tim Robbins, who is it? He should be the Marvel.
He's the first Marvel.
I completely forgot about that, dude.
That is
ruined y'all's
crazy, dude. A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it had the lady from Back to the Future. I forget her name. What's the actress name?
Thompson, I believe.
Yeah.
Is it Leah Thompson?
Leah Thompson.
All I can say is, I say after this, let's get to gaming. No No, I mean,
Bro, get the fuck out of here! You can't just say some shit like this and change the
no. I was gonna say because I have a perfect way to end. I have a perfect way to end the movie part of this podcast on. I was gonna say, well, one thing's for certain: if you can't say they haven't come full circle back to quality in terms of Howard the Duck to now.
You know,
dude, Howard the Duck is in the Avengers, isn't it?
Yeah, he was in Guardians, right?
He's in Guardians
of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Damn, dude, and they never did any. I love how that was never brought up again. It was just right there, just for a joke. That was all it was. Just a little
George
joke.
Lucas made it. George Lucas was the producer. That's why I said a huge director. Everybody knows George Lucas.
He made that.
Because that was
that movie well regarded?
That was like in the 80s.
No, it was regarded as one of the worst films in history, and it was a financial disaster.
Do they call it Marvel? Do they call it a Marvel movie?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
It says Marvel in the intro.
Yes, not like I haven't. Yeah, I don't know. They were just like.
But I'm guessing like the Fantastic Four, that movie, and the Captain America, and the Nick Fury movies. Those were all direct to DVD.
Yes, and they released in the 90s, but this one was the 80s. There was a Marvel.
Those came out even after this. This was even after this. Holy fuck! Exactly. So they never did what so DC never did what Batman did with like a 1940 serial.
Well, they were earlier than Marvel for the most part. They had like some their first proper superhero film, as we know it, besides the serials, was Superman 78, most likely. But there was stuff before then, like
there's some wild. There's definitely some wild stuff about like you can find about DC versus Marvel like characters, and they would just come out a couple years later, like Namor and Aquaman and Deadpool and Deathstroke. Deadpool wasn't even funny, dude. I didn't even know that. It was crazy. He was a Deathstroke. He was a Deathstroke straight up clone, like a serious villain.
Do you know what the best? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good, man.
You know what the best backstory for any superhero I've read is? Marvel's not DC, it's Ninja Turtles. I'll tell you why. Because the reason, the backstory for it goes, that it was written as a joke comic to like sort of satirize Daredevil. The idea was, okay, what if we, because in Daredevil, if you'll remember, the original comic, it was a vial of mutant goo or something like that, right? And it was
That's right. I remember you telling me about this.
It hit him on the head. Hit him on the head, and it rolled off, right? And that's what made the man who hit it give him superpowers. Made it blind, but gave him superpowers. Made it turn him into Daredevil, right? The comic presupposes, okay, what if right after it hit that man in the head, the vial of goo then rolled down the ground, landed in a sewer, and covered a bunch of 4 turtles, and that's how the turtles came to life. Which is amazing and funny. And here's the best part: every character in that story, the original comic, was like a joke version of like Daredevil characters. Yeah, Daredevil. So like for example, but like the obscure ones, because these guys were like good comic book artists. So like they would design characters like in Daredevil, he has a master named Stick. So they say, okay, Stick. Splinter should be their master. Stick, Splinter, get it? There's a joke on that. And then stuff like I'm trying to think. There's another one like the Foot Clan hit Shredder's people. That was a parody of Daredevil's The Hand Clan. As a kid, I used to think the Foot Clan was like from the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles. I was like, oh, he calls them that because they're gonna trample over us. Nope, it was a joke. That makes it even better.
This makes me feel so stupid, man. I don't know. Oh, this is crazy, dude. Wow.
It's cool to talk about
Yeah, I feel like it's crazy. I feel like Ninja Turtles definitely are bigger than Daredevil. I feel like Daredevil became bigger recently.
Rightfully so.
But for the Netflix show, right? But like still, even now, Daredevil's still like, we make fun of him because he's like, what are you kidding me? Daredevil next to Thor, he's gonna lose.
More peanuts, please.
I'll say this.
I'm like, dude, they could have made it about Daredevil, but it was Batman, and people were saying Spider-Man because they did the comic series. Like, I'm like, dude, everyone was saying Spidey. People were saying Batman. I agree, Batman's perfect, but dude, Daredevil's right there. They could have done a series with Daredevil.
I think the best Ninja Turtle stuff better than the best Marvel stuff. I'm not even kidding.
The best Ninja Turtle stuff.
I believe that. I like Ninja
Turtles. Bro. I only like those 2 movies from in the 90s. The third one was terrible. All of those movies I already forgot. I didn't see the new animated one. I love the 90s ones. I grew up with those.
That's fair.
The new cartoon with Seth Rogen, the Seth Rogen one that he made.
That was great.
Dude,
awesome.
they made a cartoon that was stupid because they made Ralph the leader. I'm like, what the hell is that? Is that
No, they didn't.
carried into the movie?
Wait, Eric,
and the
did
cartoon,
you
the new
see
one.
that 3D
They don't.
animated one from 2007? Could just called TMNT.
I did. I like that one a lot
That
too. I
one's
like that
fire.
one a lot
That
too.
one's my favorite.
I fuck with that one.
Yes.
Just, dude, where Leo loses, I was like, yo,
Yeah.
Leo is my guy, bro. People love Ralph, but I'm always Leo, dude. I'm always Leo. But Ralph made him his bitch in that movie.
It's Raph, not Ralph.
He almost
Yeah,
Raph.
like Raphael.
Raphael.
Did it matter
Ralph-
at all?
I don't think that he's
John Mulaney. It
they're
doesn't
making a new-
matter at all.
They don't really, because they all had the same color mask back in the day, dude. They all wear
True.
red masks or something. None of them were blue. Dude, there's a new comic they're making about that character, Eric, dude. The Nightwalker, whatever, the thing that Raph was, the outfit he wore, the black armor.
Yeah.
They're making a new series, dude. I don't think it's
that's
gonna be
sick.
him, dude. I think it's gonna be Leo, dude. I think that'll be sick, dude. Because that's what they did with Last Samurai or the Last
Ronin.
Ronin. It
I
was
still gotta check
Mikey.
that one
It was
out.
Mikey. You know who it is, right? That's
it's
the only
Mikey.
reason why I want to. Dude, that twist is like. I'm like, dude, that shouldn't have been a twist, dude. That should have been like the fucking the prompt to read that shit. Because as soon as I found that out, I was like, I gotta read this shit, dude.
Oh yeah,
Mikey.
And I didn't even really know much about. I had heard of it, but I mean, just how we take it back to games. When they announced that they were making the game, I was like, okay, now definitely gotta check this. Because I mean, the last TMNT game I played was. I haven't played the beat 'em ups, but I remember playing the video game version of the movie and on PS2.
I wanted that game so bad.
That game was.
I wanted that game so bad.
It was incredible.
I had a PSP and I wanted it on my. I wanted to play it on the go, dude. But the new one they made is like a new one. It was called like Shredder's Revenge. I thought it was just a recollection, but no, they made like a new game. And there was another game on the PS3. It's like an arcade store. It's called Out of the Shadows, and it was like an Arkham Shadow. It was so bad. It was so bad. I wanted that game, but then I read about it. I was like, don't even bother. This game's so bad. It's unplayable. And I was just like, dude, we need this. We need this. And now you're telling me. And then I read that. I think I shared. I think you can figure it out on your own, but I shared you guys the link of like God of War style combat. I'm like, yo, this is about to go heavy, dude. You know that Mikey's gonna die at the end. Dude, they're gonna make this shit super sad.
Yeah.
Please make a good version of a God of War type Ninja Turtles game. I'll buy the heck out of it. Do it right now, please.
They don't even need to do that, brother. How many other IPs would benefit from God of War combat? You know what I mean? KOTOR. They were talking about the KOTOR remake, which I know you don't play games, but I would recommend that you play that, Mark, because KOTOR 1.
Oh,
the story's like.
I've heard of KOTOR.
They were gonna remake it into God of War combat, but now that game is in development hell. Yeah. Because I remember Eric. I don't know if you remember they had a PS5 trailer at like a event. Yeah. And I was so hyped. Never heard of it again, dude.
Yep. I was excited because I never played the OGs, and I know those are like regarded as some of the best Star Wars.
You're never gonna play them, dude.
Not even some of the best Star Wars games, but some of the best Star Wars stories ever told. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll finally get to
You just have to put up with that fucking turn-based shit you have to put up with.
Nope, I'm good.
What about Chrono Trigger? It's got good turn-based. Chrono Trigger, Persona 5.
No, not really turn-based.
It's different. It's not like that, though. It's like those are more like Final Fantasy. This is like one of those where it's just weird. Like it's a dice. You roll a dice. It's like a dice rolling mechanic.
Oh, fuck that. I hate the dice. Fuck that. Never mind.
they're dice in it. So it's like a 10% chance that you hit. I took forever. No. It's easy when you Google how to win and then like someone's telling you how to play the game. I don't mind that as much for these kind of games because you're not really playing for like the talking people. It's like some people love Fallout for charisma checks. Like I like to convince people to do shit, you know. And that's one of those things. That's one of those things that kind of was in these games, man. Because these are the originators, BioWare.
Yeah, man, dang, that's like an old company.
They made Mass Effect, dude. They're making a new one. They're making Dragon Age. I don't know which one it is, but they're making a new one. I know people are excited about that. I had no idea how much, but like apparently people love Dragon Age, man.
Oh, absolutely.
They've been waiting for a new one. And I'm like, on the same boat. I have Origins because I got it for like $1 on Steam, and people are saying the story in that is fucking crazy, dude. And it's like the exact same system as KOTOR. So I'm like, I don't know, man. I'll have to wait. You know, because we have good stories with gameplay now. It's not just good story. Like Red Dead 2, that shit is fun, dude. I love shooting people's
Hell
faces
yeah.
off, man.
Good segue. Let's talk about that. Because you and I,
Yeah, dude.
me, both, we were talking about this before we started recording. Both you and I have been revisiting
Yeah.
that and playing that a whole bunch. You want to talk
Yeah.
about your experience with that?
Absolutely, man. I didn't even know you were really playing it, man. I know that
Oh,
I heard
yeah,
you
dude,
and
I'm
you
going
said,
for
yeah, dude, I've been
100%.
trying to get low honor. So I was like, yo, dude,
I
Eric's
gave up.
playing this. I gotta play this too, dude. You did?
Eric is trying
Really?
to get low
Yeah,
on.
because my dude,
I already know.
my honor is like high. Just I keep it just keeps going up, man. It's so hard to keep that honor low.
I don't think
Okay,
I feel
Zuko.
like no, dude. You struggle with being bad. I think that's what it is, dude. Because some dude came up to me. He's like, "Ah, man, my horse." I was like, "I don't have time." I just shot him. I was like,
You shot him?
I just blew his head off.
Dude, I've been robbing
And
folk
I
and
just-
stuff. You know, I've been trying to do those bandit challenges and stuff. So I've been like losing honor, but like I don't know. Like I said, I feel
You
like
just have to not care. You just have to not care about people, dude. It's easy.
yeah, true.
I'm only there for myself. No, I'm playing.
Yeah,
I'm
just
kidding.
only play for yourself.
I am high honor. I'm high honor now too, but that's just because I can't. I can't. But I could have because there's a couple of times where people will come up to you or something like that, and even that guy, like I said, there's like that guy Jimmy Brooks, like the guy that catches you,
Yeah,
and then he's about to fall. I'm like, there's no way. If this was a movie, he would have let him die. There's no way that he would have helped him. There's just no reason to help him because in the
and then he
game
gives you
you
like
already
a
know.
pin that's worth like $10.
Yep.
At a fence.
Yeah, he gives you a pen, but like in real life, let's be real. Let's be real here. Let's put away the controller for a second and be like, okay, we're in a situation, right? We just robbed a fucking bank. We've been robbing more than one bank. Where we got a little heat on us. I'm a member of Dutch Vanderland's gang. This motherfucker is dumb enough to do that, but not only that, he runs away. He's acting like he's gonna call the cops, dude. I don't think that even if you saved me, I wouldn't be able to keep that shit a secret, bro. I'll be like, yo, man, I fucking saw these members of this gang, dude. This shit was crazy. I gotta tell somebody, man, right? So it might not even be the cops. So you would just let him fall. But I didn't. I say, did you let him die, dude?
Yeah, I killed him. I mean, my first time playing, I did.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I started playing again because I wanted to. Like, I just started thinking about that 100%, and I was like, I might try for this. And I started playing. I started a fresh new playthrough for the 100% because I had a profile that I had like 88 something point something percent. And I was like, maybe I'll just like hop on this and do it from here. But it's way easier to just start a whole new save and just go in with the intention of doing everything. So I just decided to do that.
Right.
And I'm already at like, I think I'm a little over 50. I might be at like 60 something. I can't remember. I'm up there. I've done a lot of stuff on that checklist already. And I'm also getting like it's like I'm getting to do all this side stuff and see all this stuff I've never seen before of all my time playing this game, and on top of that, I'm getting to re-experience the story. So it's just like a win-win all around. I've been having so much fun. It's like all I do in my free time is just grinding Red Dead.
No, dude, the hunting is like the part that stressed me out, dude. There's only like two things I was like, I need this shit, dude. There was like that hat with the snake, and there's like these snake gloves, and I had like this vest, dude. It's just like a cowboy vest, but I was like, once I have those three things, I'll take my time. But I have the same issue that I had before, dude, and that's like I just don't want to do anything but the story, dude. I have to know what's gonna happen next, bro. Right now in the store, I'm in Saint Denis. We're doing the robbery with we just did a robbery. I thought it was the one where Lenny gets, but no, it's like
That
you
doesn't
go.
happen
It's
till the
just you.
bank.
Yeah, and I thought that's what we were doing. We just go into a place. There was like no money, but it was me, Dutch, and Lenny, and it's looking bad. I know that like chapter 5 is when you want to make a save because Arthur starts to look too, and it's just like you can't really do anything anymore because you're just thinking about the story.
Oh yeah,
So
dude.
I'm probably,
Once Arthur gets diagnosed, it's over. I'm not doing any. I'm just doing the story from then on out.
yeah.
It
It's
just
like
doesn't
no
feel.
point. Like
It
why?
doesn't feel right to do anything else other than the story.
Yeah, you'll be doing strangers, and he looks like he. I mean, I feel like he's already looks like sick in chapter 4, but I don't think so. I looked it up. I had to look it up, but I'm like, no, it's because he's clean shaven. I was like, why does he look like this, man? I don't want to do this shit, but
There are moments
I
where I didn't
definitely.
realize this before, but there are moments where randomly he'll like be coughing, even not in like the main story, even like side stuff. He'll just like start coughing, and I was like, I never
It's
realized it
so
before. I was
crazy.
like, oh shit, that's crazy. On
Yeah,
top of that,
because
dude, the first time I played the game, I remember like after we get back from Guarma, I was like, I went to a barbershop. You know, he has the beard and all that stuff. I was like, I need to shave. So I went to the barbershop,
Alright.
and I like, you know how it's like close in on his face. I was like, Arthur
You're
doesn't
like,
look good at
whoa.
all. I was like, Jesus, man, this
he
dude looks
looks
terrible.
out of it.
Yeah,
What
and
the
then
fuck?
like, yeah, and I get my shave and everything. I'm like, all right, get my haircut. I walk out. Right after I leave the barbershop, he just starts having a coughing fit and then like passes out. And I'm like, what is happening?
Oh my god, dude. That's
It was,
insane,
yeah,
dude. It just happened randomly.
it was terrible.
God damn it, dude. It's so sad. I hate that, dude.
2018 was a different time.
Why
Yeah.
do they have to do this to you, man? These games are all the same, bro. Fucking Red Dead. I just hate. It's so funny because everybody was complaining. I want to play as John in the first one. I want to play as John. It's like, I want to fucking play as John, bro. Get the fuck out of this fucking fake ass, bro. Skinny ass, bro.
I
Give
used
me
to be like,
Daddy
nah,
Arthur.
John is great. I still like John, but like the thing is, I was just trying to be a contrarian. The truth is, Arthur Morgan is good. Like
Arthur Morgan is the
yeah, I still love John though. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
Yeah, I like John's son
He's just
more
so
because
much
he gets
better.
revenge. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like his son's revenge story is my favorite part of that game, personally.
I liked
It is.
Jack, but and another group of people, be careful that you said that. But
I
like
don't care
Jack.
about his personality or anything. I think John's
Yeah.
obviously cooler. I just mean I like
like his story.
I liked the completion, the arc. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wouldn't
Yes,
be
that cut
as
to
good.
credits at
We
the
wouldn't
end.
remember it.
It's so good.
We would not remember that game as fondly if that didn't happen. You know,
Perhaps,
they
that's true.
literally recorded lines with the other actor for all of the strangers if you didn't do them with John. Like,
Yeah.
that's going above and beyond, dude, with like the effort and shit.
Which a part of me is
And
like,
I
dang,
like
should I have
Jack.
just saved the strangers for playing as Jack? Because now I'm like, when I started playing as Jack, I was like, after you kill Ross, you're like, well, what now?
What the fuck am I doing?
You're like, what now?
Yeah, and it makes sense. Some of them really do make sense with Jack instead
Yeah.
of John, you know.
Which
And it's
I
the same thing
love
with Red
in
Dead too.
yeah, I love that like there are certain things that you can like go to and John will be like, yeah, I read about you in my friend Arthur's journal. And like there's some that make
Mhm.
sense for John, and then there are others where it's like John is just completely out of place. So right now what I'm
Yeah,
trying to do is I'm trying to like play it to where I complete as much as I can as Arthur and then save certain ones for John to where it just makes sense narratively.
right.
But yeah, it's like some of those it's just kind of like John doesn't belong here. Or you can even tell like
Yeah.
sometimes like the way like John talks. You're like this sounds like Arthur. Like it
This
doesn't.
doesn't sound like his personality. This
Yeah,
sounds like
it
an
just sounds
Arthur
off.
thing, right?
And
And then it's weird because some of
I
it's
do
the
kind of
same.
wish they would have altered them a little more to maybe fit each character as opposed to it just being like the exact same thing. But you know, it is
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, but they it is interesting how they are exactly like. But like Red Dead, like the thing that was just like, yeah, man, like yeah, with Red Dead 1, you can do a stranger and like a bunch of years will pass, and then it's just really
So,
funny
sorry,
because
I
all
think
of a sudden
my
you're
internet like disconnected for a second. And you cut
yeah.
out for a sec. Could you repeat
So I
what
was
you were
just saying,
saying?
I thought what I was saying, Mark, was like, how you can do strangers one character, and then if you come back, like in the story, it's like 5 years or whatever, and you're somebody else, it'll just pick up right where you left off on the stranger, which I thought was funny because it's the same thing with the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depending. Which I do like.
Yeah.
Like I was saying before, I do like how there's some where it's like it shows that time has gone by, which I really like.
Ultimately, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, man, because sometimes it's not fun to make yourself do something when you want to do the story. Like I have to go fucking see this guy Charles Chardonnay or whatever, But like at the same time, I'm just gonna treat it like my first playthrough, which is like I'm gonna do whatever grabs. I'm definitely picking up things I forgot. Like I didn't even know that there were. I thought that like the fishing shit like at camp was like an act. No, that's like a mission thing. Like whenever you see like a bubble at camp, that's a mission from a companion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting. And then you get a whole other load of dialogue. I went fishing with Javier. I never did that before, and it explains a lot of like his like mentality for why at the end. I mean, we know what happens, right? He fucking betrays you. We know that he's just he's loyal to a fault. That's like his
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And like the thing with Micah, because I just did I robbed a stagecoach. I never did that before, right? I just was focused on the yellow ones, not the white ones, right? And what I pick up on with him is like I think that there's something there. They said something too when they were like, when Sean gets killed, when they're in there, it's like, oh, me and you, Morgan, Arthur and Micah, we as a team, we can do anything, right? And it's very much like it gives a lot of Batman and Joker when the two of them next to each other, especially with High Honor Arthur, and just like they're. I think that Micah is ultimately like he's scared of Arthur. Ultimately, I think that he is he's intimidated by Arthur, right? Because Arthur's not he knows he knows what he is, right? Dutch can't see it. Not none of the others really can immediately, but Arthur did. Like from the get go, he doesn't like him. Like
Yeah.
your introduction to him, they already don't like each other, right? And
And
depending on your
the
honor
game already
flavor,
makes you not like him too.
yeah, the
Like
game was
immediately out the
already
gate,
we
it's like,
hate
oh,
you.
he's a racist piece of garbage. He's this, he's that. Like
Yeah, he's a
you're
racist piece of
automatically
shit.
like,
Yeah,
nah.
yeah, exactly. He's nothing. Nothing is really redeemable about him. The most redeemable about him is that mission because he's like, I want more things in life, but since I can't, I'll settle with this, robbing a stagecoach, right? And apparently, people that played it, they've said that you can find notes like in his tent where he tries to reach out to his family, like his brother,
Yeah,
and he doesn't want
yeah.
anything to do with
I've
him.
seen that
And
note.
apparently, his dad was terrible to him. So like, there are things that make you almost sympathize, almost right, because he's so deplorable, right?
Yeah.
But I just think I really like that a lot, dude, because all these characters are so well thought out, dude. Like even this guy Micah, will never admit it, but we have to like break into his place, read his shit to see that. Like, yeah, he probably doesn't like himself, dude. I don't think he did. I don't think that he likes himself,
Oh,
dude.
absolutely not.
Yeah, and it's a really rough period to be living in, man. To like stay entertained, everything, right? It's not an easy time to be alive, but like I don't know, man. It's scary because I feel like becoming like that guy in that time wasn't the hardest thing, dude. You know, and I
Yeah, the
just think
hardest
that's
thing in that
scary.
time was not having video games to play because they were bored all the
Yeah,
time. You know.
the hardest thing is like fucking boredom, dude. It's like, yo, dude, we fucking let me go shoot somebody.
Yeah,
I don't fucking
if
know,
you're
dude.
not out robbing, you're reading a book, I guess.
You could get away with murder and robbery, dude. Like that's a whole
No, if you
thing with
could, that's the messed up part.
yeah, the whole thing with Dutch, like the whole like especially when you go to the city, the ultimate like the reason they failed because they could not learn to evolve, adapt. What was the main thing with like these desperado cowboys? It was like fucking holding up stagecoaches and just like robberies because that was like we have horses, we can just ride away. We'll have a new life in a couple towns down the road. But it's like you go to San Diego, you start to see the fucking technology. They're starting to have like automotive trains and vehicles. So it's like that whole theme of like slowly encroaching on
Hmm.
like technology slowly coming. So what's happening to us? They keep what you're really running from the technology. You're really trying to run from all this, and you have Dutch, who's just absolutely the worst person to have at the helm because he's so stubborn, right? And he refuses to see that. That's why that what's his name Bronte is already the king of Saint Denis because he's in liquor. That's what the Italians they focused on like a liquor bootlegging, right? That was the new way to make money. That was like the evolution from stagecoach robbery, right? And you never learn that. I mean, Arthur does, but even Arthur's really stupid because it's like until fucking chapter 5 when he's like no more, right? Because in the beginning, I mean the conflict is from the very beginning, dude. You know,
Absolutely.
there's clips you can find on YouTube of people saying like you can find Josiah,
Hosea.
or not Josiah, Hosea will be like Arthur Dutch is not the same anymore, man. In chapter 1, dude,
Literally, yeah.
and all of a sudden,
Literally,
yeah,
well, he says like Dutch says like what twice or three times in chapter one, like Arthur, are you
yeah.
doubting me, Arthur? Have you lost faith in me? Like
Dude, he
already.
literally says to you while you're walking, he's like, "I suspect you will betray me in the end, Arthur." And then my Arthur's like, what a strange thing to say. Why would you say that
Yeah.
to me? He's like, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud. But like that's a whole another thing, dude. Only when the stress is like at a maximum, like in the very beginning of the game, right? Well, when Hosea says that shit, but when you calm down, Hosea doesn't say that anymore, right? Because it's back to being calm. But as soon as it gets heated again, who starts losing their shit, dude? He starts losing their marbles, and like it's fucking Dutch, dude. And it was true,
And it
man. Oh my
especially means
god,
a
Hosea
lot.
was right.
It means a lot coming from a character like Hosea, because that's his brother.
And I didn't understand that at first. I thought Jose was cool, but I'm like, I didn't understand how much actual fucking influence that he has on the game and on Dutch, dude. There's a whole scene I found on. I still haven't seen the shit in my game because I never stay at camp. I'm always like doing shit.
Yeah.
But like, Hosea, fucking Bill's coming up to Hosea talking shit, and then he's like, "I got enough props about it." He fucking pulls a gun on him, dude. And I'm like, "Yo, dude, if Hosea killed him, no one would have said anything, bro. We would all been like, fucking dumbass Bill, dude. He's fucking stupid, dude." The whole other thing with like dude, what's his name? Fucking Micah. If you have really low honor and there's like one scene, right? Dude, he'll shoot you in the back of the head in the camp when you walk away, dude. He'll fucking kill you, dude.
What?
And like the contract, like that game, obviously the story, like this doesn't happen, right? Because they would kill him right there, right? But it was just crazy to see. Like, that's how much of a fucking snake that Micah is, dude. A fucking rat, dude. Fucking shoot you in the back of the head.
That's crazy.
That's how he
crazy.
that's how he deals with conflict, man. That's it's a fucking.
I've seen like people punch Arthur out, but I've never seen. That's crazy.
Yeah, after a while they'll be like they did the shit that they did with GTA 5 with like if you like follow Michael around, like no, they knock you out. I never antagonized, but I always antagonize Mike. I never agreed with him. I was always on site, dude. I'm like, fuck this guy, dude. I don't like. He's always like, my favorite Arthur's like, look at you. I can't say it right. He says it, that accent.
One of the worst interactions I've seen. Like I remember, you know how you have like the box at camp where you donate. I remember like Micah goes up to it and he's like, "Look at all this that I put in here. Look at all this that I'm doing for all of you." And I was like, what do you mean, bro? Why are you making it like a whole display? Like, and literally my art.
We need to fucking survive.
If I were to open that ledger, it would be freaking valuables on top of valuables, and it's all Arthur. Dude, I'm donating all this stuff, and then he comes up, he puts one thing in the box, and he's like, "Look at what I'm doing." I was like, "Shut the like." And I think he does the same thing. He does the same thing with the Pearson. I think he brings like fish or something.
No, that was like, Bill. That's Bill.
That's
Bill.
Bill.
Bill comes in and he's like, "I'm about to. I look over what you're all about to eat."
Yeah,
I brought
like, bro, come on, dude.
I love. Pearson was like, "Thank you." Oh, did I not say it loud enough? And then Bill was just quiet and he walked away, dude. Like, Pearson just happened. Pearson, they be hating on him, bro. This dude fucking went into a crocodile nest. Yeah, bro. I went with him to go get eggs.
Yeah, me too.
I went with him to go get eggs, bro. And I was like, yo, dude, fucking respect this guy, Pearson, man. Pearson, honestly, the only one that I also don't really talk to at all. I like him now because he helped with something, was the Reverend Swanson. Because sometimes he just comes up to you and starts talking. He just talks to you so much, and you're just like, I don't give a shit, dude. You're drunk. go take a nap. But he's the one that delivers the coolest line in the trailers, bro. He's like, "You gotta love yourself a fire," you know.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I love like how all that like that whole story that franchise is great. It reminds me of, like the Wild Bunch or like John Wayne's Stagecoach. You know, like classic westerns, stuff like that. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, like those old westerns, they got some dated issues, but I mean. I like their scale and their scope is very interesting to me. You know? All right, well, I got to get going, y'all, but thank y'all for having me on this podcast. It's been really fun. I can't wait to listen to it later on.
Yeah, me too, man. I loved hearing that trivia. That shit was some crazy shit, dude. I'm gonna look. I might look at Howard the Duck. I'll probably just look at a Cinema Sins. I won't look at it. I'm not gonna watch. I'm gonna watch like a Cinema Sins or like what's it called, Red Letter Media.
Yeah, Red Letter Media. Do them. I don't care.
I'm just gonna watch people talking shit about it. That sounds like more fun to me, anyways.
Probably, yeah. All right, well, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for having me.
All right, thanks, Mark. Take care, man. It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you all later. Bye.
All right, be safe, man.
Yeah, bye. You too. You guys too.
That son of a bitch. No, I'm
Shit, leave my podcast early. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
Oh
dude.
man, we should let's get into these topics. I want to try to wrap up maybe around 9-ish,
Okay.
possibly, but we'll
Yeah.
see.
I've
So
heard
if you're
are you just more fond of 6, or was it just like a this time?
more fond of
So I
what?
don't mind either. This time, like 6 or 7, as
Yeah,
opposed to 7, or was
I
it just
because I was
better?
gonna say 7 because Boyce was originally supposed to get off work at 6, but then he said he had COVID, so he wasn't gonna be working. So I was like, well, if we can do it earlier, then that's good too. But
Yeah,
I mean, do you have a
it's
time
fucking
you
crazy,
prefer?
dude. Honestly, I'm good with either, man. I think that this is a sweet spot that we have with
Yeah,
these times,
because
6 or
I try
7,
to do
because it's
earlier the better because I know we can like go on for a while. But
right.
yeah,
Yeah, dude. Because last time we were out until like midnight, we were talking on this thing
yeah,
like 12, which honestly that shit was crazy, dude. Every time that happens, someone's going wild. We're just going in.
that was a good episode though.
That shit was. That was, dude. This is gonna be a good episode, dude. That's just like so many.
Yeah, so far
Honestly, this
we haven't even touched the topics yet, and
there's so much
it's
lore,
already
all
good.
this shit. That's why all this fucking lore we got, like, it's crazy.
Yeah, we have all the insights. No, I'm just
Yep.
kidding. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and get into these. First thing I want to talk about is, I mean, when this news broke a couple weeks ago, but obviously we haven't recorded in a while, so sometimes we like to play catch up on some of the old news. But Game Informer, man, Game Informer is no more.
All right, man. So I'm looking at the topics now.
Yeah, after 33 years, just
Yeah, dude.
GameStop just pulled the plug. No more.
They were talking about this. They were talking about this on like all the podcasts, man.
Yeah,
Like,
dude.
kind of funny. It's a big deal. I didn't
It's
even know how.
I mean, it just, I was completely taken by surprise. Well, like when Boyce sent that in the group chat, I was like, what? Not even
Mhm.
because I'm like a huge Game Informer like fan. Like I mean, I have Game Informers. I tune in to like Game Informer sometimes, watch some of their coverage and stuff like that. But I was mostly just like surprised because they're one of the few magazines that were still going strong and kicking it,
Mhm.
and they were doing really good stuff. And even, I mean, games media is like probably my dream job, and like, I mean, that's one of the places that I heavily considered like maybe looking at for a career. Like I would go to their website sometimes and like look at like career opportunities and stuff like that. And
Mhm.
now it's just like they're gone, and the whole
Mhm.
staff was laid off without any notice. Like literally, they were called. They were just told, "Hey, we're shutting down. You're all laid off. Like pretty much effective immediately." And it's like, what?
Wow.
Like, how do you do that to something that's like? I mean, these guys were such a
And
small team producing like issues of this magazine, not missing. Doing great
mhm.
coverage, and then it's just they wake up one day and they don't have a job, and it's crazy because
I'm pretty sure I heard that the CEO that did all this was like, he just got in trouble for shit posting about politics or something stupid like that.
I don't know
But
much
yeah,
about
dude.
that, but
Either way, it makes a lot of sense that those kind of things would happen, because I mean, this is such a huge thing to just be gone, and I don't think it doesn't sound like it came from a very well thought out plan. It just seems kind of abrupt,
absolutely
especially
not.
since it's very disheartening to hear that. I wasn't even aware that they all lost their positions.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. I
like
mean,
what
they
are all
got
these people?
severance, which I guess makes it a little better, but it still like sucks. Like the way they went about it was just terrible, and
Mhm.
I mean, and the fact that the website was completely nuked too. Like you go to that website and you can't even access the articles and stuff. So it pretty much
Wow.
only really exists in print, which is, I mean, is like good at least that they have those physical records of it. But I mean, to completely like
Wow, I'm looking
take
at it
down the
now, dude.
website is like
Like nothing.
crazy.
You can't you can't even click anything, dude. After 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. Wow. They were still making magazines last year. This is insane.
Yeah, they had an issue that they were working on that they're not even sure that it'll ever come out. And it's...
What's the last Game Informer issue that was released? Dragon Age of the Veil Guard. So it's for this new Dragon Age, man.
Yeah, and they the crazy thing, I used to get them through my pro membership when I like worked at GameStop. And I would get them, and I still have some on my shelf right now. But I mean, once I like stopped paying for it, like the pro membership, I stopped getting them. But then, like literally recently, like maybe a couple months ago or so, they announced that they were doing a separate subscription plan that you can do through Game Informer themselves, so you didn't have to do it through GameStop. And I was like, oh,
I think I heard of this.
Yeah, I was like, I might do that. So I don't have to pay for a stupid pro membership at a like store I hardly shop at anymore. And I thought it was like a step in the right direction. The next thing you know, this news breaks, and it's kind of like what?
I think that I remember like GameStop is pretty responsible for them staying relevant, right? Because of that membership.
Yeah. Because they're the parent company.
So that's
or I guess.
So that shows a lot of like why that. Because there's other magazines like PC Gaming. I go to Barnes and Noble, and I would always go
Edge magazine
to the section that had. I'd always go to get the Game Informer though, and I'm like, why did they stay? Why was it that their name mattered the most when I was looking at the magazines? And I think that it was that GameStop thing because they were always being promoted, but also just the art on the covers was always so cool to me. Like they always had the best art, and I'm like, I just want to open this and read it, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man. People in London, people in the UK say that magazines are still a relevant thing. So why is it so here? Is it just because of GameStop, man? Is it because of these other bean counter, influences getting in the way?
I can almost guarantee if it was under almost any other company, well, maybe not any other company, but I mean, GameStop definitely played a role in this. Like, come on. It's a company that's like a shell of its former self at this point.
Yeah, I don't see how, because it feels like it should be more successful. This feels like a really cool thing still, man. I mean, the fact that you have magazines, I feel like it's.
That's the thing. It was mad successful, and it was like a lot of people really, really still like read Game Informer, and they were pumping it out, like I was saying, and I just feel like it's one of those things where corporate greed just ruined a good thing. And the whole thing of like print media dying and stuff like that, it's like, I mean, yeah, sure, maybe there's truth to it, but also not really, because those who want it are going to buy it, and I feel like if you lock it behind certain things like a pro membership or something like that, that might result in, I don't know, it was I just don't really, I don't know if I'm like smart enough to really know all of the business like inside information of it, but it's just, I feel like it's definitely something that could have been avoided. Yeah.
Hopefully we get a resurgence in the future, but for now I think that we can put a nail on the coffin for magazines, man, as sad as it is. And I wish that I got one while I still could, man.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about it, I'm just like all those Game Informers I used to get as a kid and the ones I got now, I'm just like, yeah, cool, another Game Informer I wasn't really thinking about. I remember when I came to college, I still had my pro membership. I remember my grandmother texted me and she was like, oh, you have a bunch of these magazines in the mail whenever you come. And when I went home, I had like a whole fat stack of like Game Informer magazines. So like,
you were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read all this shit.
And I'm just like, damn, I took all that for granted, man. It's like now it's just gone.
Cause you just have an IGN app on your phone, dude.
I literally do. That's where I get, and it's the changing like landscape of like games media and stuff like that. It's kind of scary, the uncertainty of it, especially considering it's like something that I really would love to do. I remember I was watching the Friends Per Second podcast, and I remember they had Jason Schreier on a while ago, and this was back when I like really, I think I had like officially decided, I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to try to like talk about games and working games media. And I remember one of the questions I think they did for like a Q&A or something. Somebody was asking for advice of like, oh, if you want to break into games and media, what should you do? And Jason Schreier straight up said, don't do it. he straight up said, don't do it. And I was like when I heard that, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit discouraged. And I was like, damn, like really? Should I not damn, I don't know. And then I was like, you know what? Nah, like it can't be that. This is just one guy's opinion, right? This is one dude's opinion. Like I can still like see about it. But then like you see all this stuff, like the IGN stuff, like didn't the IGN like devour a bunch of like companies, and then like a bunch of people got laid off there. Game Informer just shut down. Like there's so much going on in games and media right now. It's like realistically,
I don't know. I feel like
it's almost like it feels like the best route is doing stuff like this, like doing your own thing, you know. And it's like if that doesn't work out for you, then it's like I don't know.
Then it wasn't tough for you, dude. Yeah, that's what I tell. That's my way to like make it make sense. Is like, oh, it was never meant, you know. But you just follow that. I don't know if the word is the id. You just follow that thing, and I think that it leads to something, man. Because that's what they did for Kind of Funny. They not fucking love those motherfuckers are hilarious, dude. There was always something going on at IGN, dude. I don't know what it was, but there's always some controversy, dude. Whenever I would like read about IGN, it's like some articles on Reddit, like, what's going on? What's the deal? Out of the loop. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? What is all this shit that's happening that I don't know about? That's like not good, you know? And I think that's just like the business side of things, you know. Everything's got that murky water, but I don't know, man. Like Jason Schreier, he's a journalist, right? I mean, he's still doing it, right? I wouldn't say that he's not. So, I mean, why is he still doing it then? If he said not to do it, but he can't. You know what I mean?
Fair.
It might just be a tactic to keep you out of the competition, dude. Because I know it can be competitive, right? The journalism. Maybe. I don't know anymore.
I mean, I guess at this point, he's gotten to where he's doing stuff for Bloomberg, dude. Like he's like made it. So like I mean, maybe he's speaking from that perspective of like, hey, I'm already here, but like breaking into this now is way harder than it was when I started. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of took that to heart. I ain't gonna lie, because this was over a year ago that I watched this podcast, and it's still something I think about all the time. I'm just like, I don't know. Am I making a mistake?
What is he most recognized for? Just his takes?
Not even his I mean, a lot of people don't really like his takes that much, to be honest. A lot of people don't like his views on like crunch and stuff like that. But he's just, I mean, the dude gets crazy scoops. Like he's an investigative journalist who in the industry, and he is always like breaking these stories. Like he was the one who, right before the GTA 6 trailer came out, he was the one who like kind of broke that whole like, oh, GTA 6 announcement coming soon, like stuff like that. Like, and people, what Jason Schreier says is usually taken as gospel, because usually he's always like right. And I've even read some of his book, Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, where he like talks about the process of like making certain games at different development studios, and and how basically like game dev is like it's almost like a miracle that any game gets made because of all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. It's really, really interesting. He has a lot of insight and stuff, so I really respect him. And I think that's probably why I took that as like such a like, oh shit, you know. But
I wouldn't think because we are different from that. We're not game developers. We're sort of journalists, but like we're more like enthusiasts, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's you on Kind of Funny. They're more like enthusiasts, but they have good insight and they get interviews, right? And that's what we can do. We are in the zeitgeist, so I don't think that we offer valuable things because we offer criticisms. We are a voice, right? We are consumers. Well, they decide what is in the end what's really getting made because we're not buying it, we're not liking it. So we have our opinions are very valuable. I think for that regard, we're not going to get the takes for GTA 6, but I don't think we want to. I don't think game development is something I've never ever thought in my life for like even like less maybe an hour in my life have I thought I would like to do that. I'm It's like that sounds like.
No, it's literally like, oh, I've thought like, man, it'd be cool if
I'm
I
talking
could
about like
make this
computer
game.
animation.
But
You got to
like at
learn
the same
math to
time,
do this
yeah,
shit.
but at the same time, it's like, oh, but actually, I have to know how to make games, and that's the part where you like, nah.
That's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
I'm enthusiastic. I like using formulas to create animations, and I like to digitize, the pixels. I don't really like games. That's somebody that's somebody who's like a game developer. They might like games, but I feel like a lot of people that are working all these things, they're seeing it like a coding gig, like a fucking like
I don't know. You
computer
think so? I don't
animation,
know.
but
I
it's
feel like a lot of these people really do like games, though.
they might really like them, but I do feel like there's like a significant like it takes a different kind of personality to like really because it's just so fucking I don't know. My understanding isn't. I'm not even. Eric. I'll be on. Like I'm insecure to even look up on YouTube how to make a video game. To
Really?
like see like the actual math and like the fucking just the techno like all the terms I would have to know for animation. That's giving me an aneurysm right now. Or you know what I understand, man?
Yeah.
And also, I 100% believe that like the thing that you make, or like if you're a part of something, you're not gonna enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Like
Like
the
you
finished
can,
product?
sure. Like if I was a heavy creator in something, I wouldn't be able to see it like that. Or I would just be like looking at all the code when I'm riding the horse on Red Dead
Nah,
2, and I'd
yeah,
be
I
like,
think I would really
I'd
like
be
it.
criticizing my work. I'd be like, man, I could have done a better job with that animation when he got on the horse. You know what I mean? Just shit like that. Where it's just
Or,
like I'm too invested. I mean, I can enjoy somebody else's, right? Like even my own movies, I like watching my videos, but it's you can't really enjoy it like that because you know everything.
that's
You
true. That's
enjoy
true.
it like
As
you
much as
like
proud
you,
of I am, as proud as I am of the stuff I do, like sometimes I'll go back and I'll watch like videos that I've done, and like I'll be like, man, that was like so good. But then there's like that
well,
one thing where I'm
there's
like,
no
oh,
point.
I'm like, oh, I could
Yeah.
have edited that a little bit, or I could have.
Yeah.
Oh, my
But
audio's a
even
little
that,
off
there's
here.
like there's like no point. Why? Because you've already spent 26 hours looking at it. You already
Yeah.
spent like the whole like
Oh no,
past
no,
four
no.
days.
I know I'm not one of those people where I like, no, I don't watch my own content because I was there. Like, no, I still watch because like that. The ultimate goal in my head when I'm making stuff, my goal is to have a finished product, and so that's what
Right.
I'm looking at more so than what's
Yeah.
happening now. Of course, I'm focused on like the editing process and all that, but like what in my head,
Right.
my vision, what I'm trying to get to is that finished product. So once that's done, that's the thing that I can really be proud of, regardless of like the little
Right.
critiques I have for myself. It's like, oh, I could have done this better. Or
Right.
I could have,
So
you
you
know.
feel you could watch it then.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I watch my stuff all the time.
Cause I can't after a while. Yeah, dude, I've seen my videos like too many times.
Depending
After
on
I
it
made
though,
the
because
two.
also you tend to be in your stuff, so I feel like that's also
Yeah, that's true as
different.
well, dude. I don't. Yeah, I know. Can you
Because like
imagine looking at yourself acting, bro?
I've acted in short films and stuff before. Like I struggle to like watch them. You know, like yeah, like my voiceover. I can listen to my voice. Like I mean, I'm on a podcast right now, but like in terms of like being on camera, I feel like that's something I would have to get used to.
That shit's silly,
That's a
right?
whole different. That's a
You'd
whole
be like,
different
yo,
thing.
that's goofy. That just sounds goofy to you, right? You can imagine. I understand. I completely understand actors. Like Adam Driver says he doesn't watch his shit. I'm like, I get that. I get that. You're in a movie thinking about on the other side of the theater. There's like 100 people,
Yeah.
in every theater in there, and they're looking at you cry. They're fucking Tobey Maguire's been criticized how many times for his ugly cry, dude.
It's real
That
though.
takes something, man. Can you do it, Eric? You wake up. Every one of these people outside knows how ugly of a crier that I am. That's rough, dude. I, I go easy on them, man. Like these guys, like when they lose their shit on paparazzi, bro. I'm like, nah, man, leave Spidey alone, dude. He's done enough for us,
Yeah,
for our entertainment. He deserves his rest, bro.
for real.
That fucking movie came out in 2004, dude. For the rest of your life, it don't matter, dude.
Nope.
You live in
Dude, God
2004
forbid
forever,
you're a
dude.
man and you cry on camera, man. That lives on
Yeah, dude.
forever.
Yeah, dude. And it's an ugly cry too. That's meme.
Yeah,
It
memes
doesn't matter if
everywhere.
you're the greatest basketball player in the world. You dunk like it's nobody's business. Michael Jordan, no one cares. You're a meme. We got you crying, Michael Jordan. That shit will live forever on the internet, dude. That shit is gold. Stop it. Get some help. That shit will live. That shit will live forever on the internet, dude. Oh, dude, I
man,
love it.
Tyrese Gibson, man, the list
Oh
goes
yeah,
on
dude, the
and
ugly
on, man.
cry. Yeah, that was a nasty cry, dude. That was a nasty one. I barely know that I know him enough from that meme. Fast and Furious guy, right?
Yeah.
He's crying. Yeah, I know exactly. I'm thinking exactly of that image, dude. But yeah, dude, I mean, props, dude. Like, however long it takes, I'm here for it. I know I was listening again to like another one of the podcasts, dude, talking about how PlayStation, Sony wants to make hits again consistently. I think that's pretty interesting news because it has been a minute, man.
I
Every
believe it when I
fucking
see
time
it.
I'll ring.
No, I'm just
Yeah, I believe it
kidding.
when I see it. Concord's coming out next week, though, dude. Right?
You playing that?
And what else is coming out? No, no, no. I'm not gonna play that. Maybe if it depends on how well receptive, we might have another fucking Helldivers too. I don't know, man.
I feel like the
Everyone that's played
consensus
it
of
has.
like the beta was that it was like all right.
They say it's fun. They say it's actually fun. It's good even, but the art design is not bringing in enough people so that people are having fun with it, right? Why are they going to play if there's no one else to play with? That's what it goes back to, right? And it's just it's gonna fail. It's gonna fail terribly because Marvel Rivals is right there too, and it's fucking free and it's Marvel characters, not fake Guardians of
Wait,
the
Marvel Rivals
Galaxy.
is free?
Yeah, Marvel Rivals is fucking free, my guy. It is free on release. The
Holy shit.
gameplay is not bad. People are it's already a hit with the beta players, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah,
So like
I've heard good great things.
I don't give a shit. I'd rather play Marvel. I'm sorry. Marvel could be basic gameplay. I don't care, dude. Fucking
Dude, you're
multiplayer.
already winning because it's Marvel. It's Marvel characters.
Yeah.
You know?
The thing is, they could have made that cost money, but they didn't. You know, they're the ones that the whole logic is backwards with this. Like the people that should be started, it's free. The people that are making it money, it's not free. It's $40 on arrival. You know, you don't even know like, and it's too late now. They can't make it free. They know that they should have, but now it's too late because once it's already been announced, once they've already taken people's money because this is pre-order already, right? It's off. It's off. They can wait a year, but I mean, you and I already know, man. It's the most important time is now when the game is coming out. After that, it's just you're. I mean, look at Cyberpunk. How much did they have to? I know that they released this. I don't know, but they put a shit ton of money to make that game good again.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, like they had to reinvest a lot of money to make that like a salvageable project. And at that point, I don't even know how much was actually just their reception as a company being salvaged. That's probably the real currency they got out of that because the money once the money's spent, it's basically gone, right? So Concord, I'm gonna look at I looked at like one gameplay. I need to look at it again, dude. I looked at it once. I
Yeah,
was
I
like,
think
this
I
is
just
dog
saw the
shit.
one from like the showcase, and that was
Yeah, maybe it looks better now, but I don't know, dude. I'm still curious. It's still better than Suicide Squad. I can't believe that
oh, absolutely.
I uttered that sentence. I can't believe that I'm saying this sentence, Eric, in 2024. How sad is this, dude? Oh my God. How long we waited. How long we waited for Suicide Squad. Fucking Concord is already a better game, dude. And I didn't even know this was a fucking game until like a couple months ago, dude. Because it's like
That is
Overwatch,
sad, man.
Sony's.
That initial
Yeah, dude.
reveal trailer for Suicide Squad was like, oh man,
It
like
was
this is
so good,
crazy.
dude. I was like hyped. I think that we're gonna be healing from that for a good while, dude. Until we get new people are talking like Batman Beyond again. I'm like, sure, maybe I'll believe it when I see it, right? So
Just hand it
that is
over,
still the biggest
hand
disappointment.
over Batman to Remedy. Remedy will make a fire
Yeah,
Batman game.
yeah, dude. Give us a fucking Remedy Batman, dude. Fucking detect real like a real detective
World's
investigation
greatest
skills.
detective.
Yeah, dude. Make that shit rated M, dude. You're solving murders, dude. Like L.A. Noir in a bat suit, dude. You go up to dead bodies and shit. You already got the combat. You already got a perfect combat system. Now you just got to work on the other
I like
shit,
have the
making me give a
vibe
shit
of
about
like
it.
Robert Pattinson. Like that would
Yeah, dude.
that'd
I
be
mean,
good.
everything's following that vibe, anyways. That new show, which was kind of mid, to be honest. Cape Crusader. I mean, it's okay, but the vibe is still there. The grit, realism. That's what people want. Rocksteady, you guys fail. That's okay. We sometimes we fail when we do things. Sometimes we need to learn, right? The fucking bean counters at Rocksteady. Get the fuck out of there. Go to another company. Go count more beans there. Don't fucking put your poisonous fucking microtransaction bullshit live service shit into our beloved IPs, dude. You know, I like Rocks. Batman's like my favorite character, bro. You're gonna do him like this? Why the fuck is Harley Quinn still a thing, dude? I thought that was Suicide Squad 1, dude. Stop with the Harley Quinn. She's not Deadpool. She's not Joker. She's not Robert Downey Jr. She's not. She's just not. She's Harley Quinn. She's a good character. She's not the face of DC. Stop with that. Why are you making games about shark people with fucking guns, dude? Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. This game's. You know what I'm gonna be doing? I'm gonna be jumping around as a fucking shark, shooting at purple blocks, dude. Shit blew my mind, bro. That is the Justice League, dude. That is a superhero game, bro. I don't want a fucking Superman, Green Lantern, Batman. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Give me the shark guy, dude. Let me shoot things with a shotgun and assault rifles, dude. Let me play Crackdown in the DC universe. That's what I thought of when I heard Suicide Squad, dude. I didn't think shit of Guardians of the Galaxy, bro. I didn't think about fucking even Avengers, bro. Fucking even Avengers, bro. I'll play that shit over this shit any day, bro.
Oh,
Bro, you don't know how
absolutely.
good we had it.
Avengers is good.
We're complaining. We're complaining about Avengers, bro. You don't know how good we had it, bro. Fucking Gotham Knights, fucking Suicide Squad. Out of here, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously though, like, is it impossible? Is it impossible to do a fucking Avengers, a team hero game? Dude, it sounds like it's so easy. How is that hard?
I don't know.
Does it only
Guardians of the
work as
Galaxy
Ultimate
did it right
Alliance?
by giving us one playable character.
It's like it's a team player without being it. Dude, can you imagine, bro? Avengers, you only play as Iron Man. Dude.
No, it'd
You
probably be
just play
Captain
around,
America.
or oh my god, even worse. Dude, he plays fucking Captain America. He's just a soldier. He's
The
just
thing is, I feel like the
a
one
gunner.
playable character wouldn't work in an Avengers game though. Guardians can get away with that, but not Avengers. They
Because
just
they
can't.
because they mostly use guns,
Yeah,
right?
and
They
they
mostly
also
just
they
shoot
have too many
people.
heavy hitters in that team.
Yeah, and it's just like, dude, Hulk just fucking collapsed the building, and I'm stuck as Captain America throwing shields at people. Let's be honest here, dude. Nobody was really excited to play as Black Widow or Captain America. We're like, yo, dude, maybe
Nah,
Captain America a little bit, but like, nah, dude. As soon as you see Hulk and like Ant-Man and fucking Iron Man, dude, or even Captain
I
Marvel
really
doing
loved
like
playing as
Goku
Kamala.
shit.
I thought Kamala was cool. Surprisingly,
Kamala too, dude. She actually has powers and shit. Dude. She's like stretches her hands. Nah, man, we're gonna have you play as Hawkeye. Dude. Hawkeye, dude. It's actually not an Avengers game, dude. It's called Hawkeye, dude, and he's just in the Avengers. So you see them, you interact with them, but you don't ever play as them. It's like the
um,
X-Men, dude. Honestly, X-Men could do it. I would play as Wolverine only,
yeah, they could. I
and
feel
you're
like
like
they
in
could
the
get away with
X-Men.
that. They could get away with that.
Yeah, because you already have the funnest powers, dude. Half the X-Men have like I don't know, like what was that one guy's power? Well, no, they're OP as fuck too. Let's be honest. Storm is like more powerful than Doctor Doom, bro. They have to write her out, and Professor X. If you ever notice, sometimes they write them out because they don't know, like in the cartoon especially, they don't know how to like put them in because they're too powerful. So they're like, oh, Storm is off and doing some other shit, you know, because
That's
she
how it's
can
got to
control
be
the fucking
sometimes.
weather. Dude. She's you just like this, bro. The like it's like a fucking like a avalanche, bro. Fucking hurricane. Magneto can't do shit, dude. No, I'm playing. He's OP too. But
Man,
yeah, dude, that's just the state of our games, I guess. You Concord. I just fucking went on a tangent after mentioning that.
I mean, hey,
No, I don't think
you
it's
want to go
gonna
on another tangent? You want to talk
go
about
ahead, man.
Borderlands, bro?
Borderlands, dude. Don't even start. What is there to say, dude? I'm honestly done with like, okay, it looks like a shit, it walks like a shit, it smells like shit. It might be good. No, dude, it's a shit. It's not good. There's no chance it's gonna be good, dude. That's me in Concord all the time. It's like, how many times I have to learn, bro? When something looks like shit, you can just say it's shit, man. I get it. I like being optimistic. I really do, and I want to be hopefully like, yeah, I do. But like, there was nothing about this movie that ever looked like it was gonna be good, dude. And I still, in my mind, was like, I don't know, man. You know, Kevin Hart's a really serious actor when he wants to be, and they got Jamie Lee Curtis. People really like her, you know, and Jack Black as the voice. That seems like a no-brainer, dude. Honestly, I'm mad they didn't do that for the games. But no. No, it's I don't even know what they've said. All I know is from what I've heard people talking, it's just like what the guy did with David Ayer, like Hot Topic. Oh, this is edgy. This is current. This is what people like. That should be a movie. That should be the idea, right? It's super hardcore, edgy. Fallout just came out. Look at that. Look at how zany that was. That's not what it is. Fallout is zany because it's been zany. It's in the history. It's in the games. They didn't just look at a trailer for Suicide Squad or Guardians of the Galaxy. I think Guardians of the Galaxy is better. I think, for example, they took something like that, right? And it has a certain vibe. They just saw they went into Chat GPT, they went into an AI, and they said, "Look, can you make us a Guardians commercial? Can you like look at a Guardians commercial and make a movie based off of that?" And that's what they did, and it just doesn't work because it's not. That's not. I don't even really know what Borderlands is about. Like I know that there's comedy, but it's never been. It's a bad idea for me to be the person to talk about it because I've never finished a Borderlands.
Okay.
And to
I mean,
that,
I'm in the
I
same
will
boat.
say,
I'm in the same boat.
yeah, I've tried to. I've tried to. I have them all. They give them away. They give those games away like on PlayStation all the time. What I will say, and I think that this speaks to that series, is that I've tried to get into it. The story was never really there. I know people say the second one had a good story. Handsome Jack's a great character. It's still not on the level that Fallout is because Fallout is serious also. It's not just a comedy. It's very like it can be very like yeah, there's horror elements to it. I don't think Borderlands has ever been anything besides a comedy, right? There's sad things that happen, characters die, but I don't know, man. I don't even know who Borderlands is made for anymore. You know, like I've never besides our friend, you know, Will. And even then, I don't think he
Yeah.
gives a shit about the
Yeah.
story like that, dude. He's just playing to play
Shout
with his
out Will
friends.
Becker, friend of the show. Yeah, he used
Shout
to
out
play
Will Becker,
literally.
friends.
He's my ex roommate. He used to I think it was like every Tuesday night he would. It was like, you know,
He
like
made
clockwork.
a plan,
Yeah, it was like
like a
clockwork. He would
schedule
play
thing.
Borderlands with his cousin. It was. I mean, he had the best
Yeah,
time. It was great, but I just personally, I never got into him.
yeah.
I remember the only reason I even played a Borderlands game. I think it was the first Borderlands. I can't remember, but I remember when I got my Switch, it came with it, and I was like, I didn't have
Mm-hmm.
any other games, so I was like, oh, I'll try this out. I tried it, and I was just, I'm not really vibing with it. I remember I did like, I remember my friend Christian, shout out Christian for the show. He showed me
uh,
Tales from the Borderlands, that Telltale game. I remember we
I
played.
played that
Yeah, I
too.
remember we played a little bit of that. And
I like
I
it.
was kind of into that, but even that I
I was into
never
that.
beat. So when I was like seeing stuff for this movie, I mean, immediately out the gate, people were talking about the casting and stuff, and like this is pretty low stakes for me because I don't know anything about Borderlands. So I'm like,
Right.
I mean, I was interested in seeing it because I thought it would be cool to like watch it as someone who's not. I'm not gonna go into it like, oh, this is like wrong or this is bad because I don't know anything about the game. So I was like, oh, I could enjoy it, and I probably still could, but it's
Right.
still like it's giving this game isn't or sorry this movie isn't like a poor adaptation of the games. It's giving it's a poor movie based off of these reviews.
Yeah.
I mean, dude,
It just doesn't look good.
I mean, literally 9% Rotten Tomatoes, 3 out of 10 IGN, 4.4 out of 10 on
And that's a
IMDb.
9%.
9%, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Fucking 9. Holy, I didn't know it was that fucking low.
What does Madam Web have?
It's not
Hang
even.
on, I gotta look this up. What is this in relation
It's
to?
gonna be more than that. It's gonna be like a 20% watch. It's gonna be like a
Probably.
30. They got Kate Blanchett in this movie, dude.
Madam Web has a 11%. it's lower than that. That's crazy. I don't know if that's deserved. Holy crap.
Yeah, I think this shit's on Netflix. I might watch this shit tonight. I might get drunk and watch Madam Web, dude.
It's actually not as bad as people say. It's like still bad.
Madam Web?
Yeah, it's still bad, but it's not as bad as people were making it seem. It has some interesting
Really?
concepts.
I know that they had Uncle Ben on there.
Yeah, it does some interesting things, but ultimately, like, overall, it's still pretty bad. But you might enjoy it if you put some, get some beers in you. Yeah, it's a good time.
How is it good though? Like, what makes it good, dude? Just how insane it is?
No, I wouldn't even say that. It's more so just like it has notes of like really interesting good things. Like for example, I don't want to like spoil too much, even though there isn't really much to spoil. I'm like a huge fan of like the whole like character arc of like someone not liking like kids or like being like walled off, and then like kids come into their life and like kind of like break down those walls. I'm a huge fan of that. That's why I like that's what I like about the first Jurassic Park and stuff like that. And this movie has like a little bit of that, but like it doesn't really like flesh it out. I don't know. It's like little stuff like that where it's like it has something interesting, but it doesn't do enough with that thing to really like let it shine. And so it's like bogged down by all of the other stuff that's pretty bad, like the dialogue and the acting.
I just heard the editing. I heard the editing was like the worst.
Terrible. The sound mixing is weird. It's
like the
movie has a lot of, not even from like just a writing standpoint. I was surprised by how
what's valuable for that.
I was surprised by how like the movie had like some technical like issues that was.
I heard about that sound like that would be playing over a cutscene that didn't make any sense. I gotta watch this.
I was like, dude, I could have made this.
Were they drunk? Were they drunk when they edited this?
I have no idea. Like some of the camera work was a bit weird. It was like I was like laughing while I was watching. I was like, this is strange. And so I'm like surprised because I'm like, dude, Borderlands, at least from a technical standpoint, looks like a better, well-made movie than that.
It looked so it looked colorful.
So
it looked very colorful.
Are you kidding? Is it that bad? I doubt it's that bad. I'm still gonna
I feel like
at some point.
I feel like the more we talk about this, the more it's like we have to watch this.
It's like I'm watching it. I probably won't.
Dude,
watch it.
They already made. Dude, like they got fucking Cate Blanchett, dude. She's like an Oscar winner. I'm pretty sure she's like a very, very good actress.
I think they did good. They were like, we're gonna get this cast of like people that people love, and people are gonna have to go see it.
Why didn't they just get Charlize Theron? I don't understand. I make this joke. It's not really real, but like she's like the action star. Like the not the B tier, but like she's like the action version of Cate Blanchett. Like Cate Blanchett's the Oscar. Like she's the drama, serious films. Cate Blanchett and Charlize Theron. I think you know Charlize Theron. She's in Fast and Furious. She's like the short hair. She has like a bob cut. She's super famous though. She does a lot of action movies. They could have just got her to play Lilith.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, Mad Max.
I thought it was interesting how they got. Yeah, I thought it was interesting they got her though, because she did that movie with what's her name? She did Benjamin Button. She did that movie called Notes on a Scandal. That movie's very interesting, dude. If you give it a watch, it's an old film. She like has an affair with a student, and James Bond's mom or her, what's her name? M, the old lady. She's like her friend. She finds out, but she's actually obsessed with her. So it's not actually about the scandal. It's more about this old lady, how messed up she is, because she's like using that to control or stay in her life. But I like how you say that about Jurassic Park, because I find it very. That's what I feel like should be more. That's what you need to tell people to make people watch movies. Like the actual point of the film, because like Jurassic Park, I don't know why, but it's never really grabbed me, because I guess that I'm scared by dinosaurs, but there's scarier things to me. But when you say that that's what the movie's really about, or like, oh, it's like these older people and they meet these kids and they soften up. That's given me a reason to really go watch it, right? it's weird, but I feel like that with a lot of films. You can't like the description is not really that's not enough. You have to like the whole point of why that movie, why you should watch it is like it's a one of those movies where like a mean guy grows a heart. You could just be describing fucking Logan, or Last of Us,
Yeah,
right?
it's literally
Or
just like a good elevator pitch makes all the difference.
yeah, just give me the trope. Give me the shared trope between these movies, and I'll watch it for that. Because I love that too. I'm sure a lot of people. We probably need a break from that. We need a break from old men being saved by young girls, like innocent girls, because we've gotten that a lot,
Yeah.
So I am glad about what was it that I was watching, man? I don't think it was House of It was someone else. I can't think. It maybe have been a game, but the guys like I'm like, oh, they're not doing that. I'm relieved, but it looked like they were gonna use kids to like make him like no, like it has to be something else because it's so easy to do that. And I was just left thinking, how would you do that, right? How do you make like this older guy sympathetic, to like want to help these kids or like not want to help kids, but just be good? And you can't use children. I think it might have been Red Dead 2 and just how much I've been playing it, but I do like Arthur's very original like that. There's no children really that are like a motivator,
Yeah.
And I still don't really know what it is that makes the switch yet because I'm still like on chapter 4. But I want to say for John, it's easy. It's very obvious. It's like you saved the kid from Bronte, and now their relationships changed. Like John is a lot nicer to Arthur, but I don't know. I think John has changed by then. I think that was like the losing his kid was like the first real thing for him because after this mission with Lenny and Arthur's, the usual, we didn't get a lot of money out of this Dutch, and Dutch was like, "Oh, we need to do another heist," and Arthur's like, "Really now?" And he's like, "Yes, now." Jose agrees with me, even especially after this. And John is looking at you, and you guys just look at each other. And John is really quiet. He doesn't say anything, but you can see he already in another mission. I think it was like one of those. John is writing with you as like a side quest, and he's just like already saying, "I don't know, man. This feels off. Dutch is not. I don't feel safe anymore, right?" But I think that's why I can agree with you that ultimately his story is very good. I really like it a lot in this one and the first. He's just not as interesting anymore because he's very much playing that young guy that's with these like the movie Heat, what's it, Val Kilmer, like he has a girlfriend and he's like the only one that gets away. He's very much playing that character, like he's the one that has the girlfriend and the kid and he has a family now. So I understand his impetus, I understand his motivation. It's just not very interesting to me. It's not very exciting anymore. But Arthur doesn't really have anything. I literally just did a mission with Mary saying bye forever, to the train. And now it's like, what am I doing this for? You know, just to be good? Okay, sure. I don't know yet, man. I'm asking you because I don't remember. I'm playing it, so I find it interesting. I find it fascinating, man. And I remember those crazy ass things in the journal. Like he has a kid and shit.
Yeah.
I don't remember that shit. I remember I found out in the first. I don't remember how.
I actually
All I
didn't
know,
know he wrote about it in the journal because I remember he talks about it. I didn't know he writes about it.
That's the thing. The only part I didn't. I don't. He hasn't mentioned it. Or John says something after you take Jack fishing. He's like he's being an asshole, right? Because he's not at this point in the game. He doesn't care about Jack, right? So he's just being a jealous bitchy dad, and he's like, "Why are you taking my son fishing? Ain't you got one of your own?" And Arthur doesn't say shit, and it just like continues on. He's like,
he even
whatever, man,
mentions
just
to
stay away
Jack
from
when
my
he's
kid.
fishing with him. He mentions he's like, yeah, I taught a boy how to fish a long time ago. And
That's crazy
he's
to me,
talking
dude.
about his son, and I was like, man, that's crazy.
Yeah. There's another crazy theory that I believed, and I still don't know. It was like his family. Had a mixed race of like his wife was black, and it made sense because you go to the KKK, he hates them, dude. Like, you kill him, he's like, I'll kill every last one of you bastards. So I was like, yo, dude, does Arthur have a shared trauma here? Because I appreciate the sentiment, Arthur, I do, but in this time frame, it don't really make sense for you to be this emotionally, impacted by the KKK. They don't
Yeah,
really. I feel like it doesn't make
especially
sense.
because
I feel like
Arthur
if anything,
never. I mean, that is a good theory because Arthur never. Obviously, we know he's
he's
not.
very
What was that?
yeah, but
Sorry.
he's indifferent, and also he's indifferent, but not like he's not indifferent to racism, right? He's very much like an ally, but like in the same boat, I would relate. It's not your concern. I have to worry about my fucking gang right now. I have like one thing to worry about. You know what I mean? Like I have to be helping anybody really, and I feel like that with like there's one mission where you're helping these two convicts in the town, Mr.
Yeah,
Black and Mr. White. It
yeah,
was really funny, and you going into town, and I'm like, they're ripping off the boat. I'm like, Arthur would not be doing this, man. He'd be like, "Have a good day."
yeah,
I got my own issues, man. But I'm like, hey, you got to do it because it's a mission, man. And I love Red Dead. I got to do this shit. But that's just one of those things where it's narrative dissonance. But I do hope that if my theory is not true, something similar for his family, like I don't know, his wife is, I don't know, just not from here, but they died,
it
right?
is an interesting theory.
I was
Never
on
once thought of
YouTube.
that.
Someone had that theory, and I was like, "Whoa, dude, that's crazy!" And I liked it a lot because it explains why he's more empathetic in a time that it doesn't make sense
Yeah,
too
yeah, because
much.
Arthur is, and
The
especially I
only
feel like it also has to do with like how he was raised. I mean, he was raised by Dutch, and you know how Dutch is very
Yeah,
much like a
Dutch is very for his time very progressive, very
yeah,
weird.
yeah,
In their terms, weird. That it would be considered weird to be like Dutch. I think that it is that, but also just the fact that he is an outsider because he's an outlaw, so he's not a member of society. So it makes sense that he doesn't understand, racism that much. Because there's
right,
a mission where there's a guy you help. He doesn't understand why the guy's like, "Am I sitting here? Do you want me to get
yeah,
up?"
yeah.
And Arthur's like, "What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking
He's like,
about,
how could I
man."
have offended you?
Yeah, he's like, "I just walked by you, man." And it makes sense in that way that he's like a little kid because he was sheltered by Dutch when it came to those things, right? But I think ultimately it wasn't a sheltering. It's just that his focus he never had to focus on these kind of issues before because his
Yeah,
mind's always been on
yeah, exactly. Because
outlaw.
like that's the thing. Like Arthur isn't. I feel like on the surface it's painted as Arthur's like naive, but he's not really. Arthur is well aware of
No,
all this stuff. It's like the women's suffrage thing where
yeah,
he was like, I haven't thought much about women voting. It's just like you
and
were
no
just
one's
saying. He's like,
everybody's an idiot.
yeah, he's like you were just saying. It's like I don't think Arthur's like not aware of this stuff. I think he's just literally just doesn't. It's not at the forefront of his mind. It's like he looks at Tilly and Lenny and Charles and all them. And he's just like not to say like he's like colorblind. He doesn't view them as like inferior or
Yeah,
anything. He's just like you ride with me. You got a good
yeah,
head on your
you're,
shoulders. Yeah, I respect
yeah.
you, and that's just kind of as far as it goes.
His relationship with Charles is like one of the closer, stronger bonds in the camp.
Yeah, and I forgot
Unarmed,
that Charles is the one who buries him, which I completely forgot about that.
I didn't even remember that either,
Yeah,
dude. But I just know that some things that I found fascinating too is like if Charles, like I didn't realize it at first. Charles asked you to go with him, and if you actually pay attention, that's actually like a huge thing because he doesn't talk to like anybody. Like they'll try to talk to him and say shit. He goes up to Arthur and asks him, "You want to go riding?" That's like a huge uh favor in Arthur's in his position because like you know he sees Arthur like he sees him for who he is and I think by all real canon accounts Arthur's very noble, right? And I think that trumps everything else that you like all the other things like my like these other like the evils of the past, right? But I also want to give credit to the fact that this is intentional. All of this is intentional because of what is one thing at the end of the day. This is a Rockstar game. Rockstar always has a specific idea when it comes to their protagonists. I feel they are very much Rockstar's not a they're very conscientious, very like in the present. they don't ever miss a beat. So they like we're not because they see how people are. My theory, right? They see how people can complain. People that we don't really need to bother to mention about bullshit like with Assassin's Creed
Sure. Yeah.
Shadows. So they make these protagonists that are, by all accounts, like not a lot to complain, not too much to complain about. But then what do they do when you actually have that protagonist? They make them very progressive. They make them very likable and relatable, and they don't go soft on anything. They go into everything, and they use these characters because they know not a lot of people is like very vanilla, white, tall guy, good looking guy. Arthur Morgan, he's got a great voice. We all love him, right? Except that his views are actually very, very like for half the people playing as him, they don't agree with what Arthur would probably stand for and his actions in the game. Like when you meet the fucking slave catcher, what does Arthur do? He burns his fucking ledger, dude. He burns all his shit in front of him. He says
Yeah.
some legacy should stay dead. He's saying the fucking truth of today, dude. That's what they do with their protagonists. That's the whole fucking point, dude. They take these protagonists and they make them like Jimmy from Bully. People thought that he was the bully because he fucking looked like one, dude. In the cover, he's looking at a principal like he's about to get in a fight.
Yeah.
And Jimmy ends up being like the fucking nicest guy and like
Literally, he
the
goes
defender of
up
all
against the bullying. He goes up against
he
that
goes up against the
shithead
fucking
Gary.
bully. Yeah, fucking Gary's the true sociopath, right? And Gary looks like he'd probably be the main character in another game. It's like Rockstar always takes these characters and then they do something and they flip it on its head. Like Arthur is based off of John Wayne. John Wayne is like one of the most detestable racist celebrities of our history. I'm not afraid to say it. There might be people I don't give a fuck. Dude. He was a piece of shit. He was a piece of work. Arthur's based on him, and the Wikipedia you can see is based on his characters, right? In the good ways, on all of the good ways, in the iconic imagery of a cowboy. In all these ways, he resembles him, except for what he fucking says and what he stands for. And that's what makes him timeless, because he stands for values that we believe in today through this caricature, this image, right? Nico Bellic. This was during the Bush presidency. This is when people like me, me, yes, that was more Trump's era, but really just immigrate like Arabs, Muslims, right? And Nico, I don't know what the fuck he is, right? We said he was Russian or something. He's not American. He's not American white. He's from another fucking country. That was a whole commentary on immigration, right? And how is Nico? Nico's like the most noble fucking GTA character we ever played as. The only one that doesn't enjoy murder outright. And he's the main character of the GTA fucking 4, dude. We get all this fucking commentary. It's like they know what they're. Jason is a white dude. He might be mixed Hispanic. Some people are saying his last name is Sanchez. The girl you're playing is Latina. There's no question about that. Jason is a white man. He's a white dude, a white guy. Grand Theft Auto 6, the newest Grand Theft Auto 6, Rockstar saying, we're going to have you play as a white dude. Rockstar doesn't do things ever without a reason. Everything. The protagonist is always one of the most thought. They picture these protagonists for a reason, right? So I'm excited and I'm happy and I'm ready for it, right? I support Assassin's Creed Shadows, right? I think Yasuke is awesome. I do understand people's criticism saying that it might have been the intentions, they might have been good, but the way about it and the way it just wasn't. Like there was just something there. But GTA, when they do something, they were like, no. If we wanted you to play as a black guy, we would, and you're gonna fucking do it. You think I give a fuck? San Andreas is still one of the biggest selling games of all time, dude. So I trust Rockstar, and they're doing these things for a reason, man. You're gonna be playing some missions with this dude. Probably gonna have to deal with like transgender rights, some racism, dude. I know the trailer showed like a Karen, like there was a Karen with her two things being filmed by that phone.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited, dude, because I know that they're gonna go hard. They're gonna go hard because
they
didn't hold back. Dude. There's straight up racism in Red Dead 2, man.
Yeah.
They could they did it tastefully, right? I'm glad there's no strong language for the most part, besides that D word, which I've never heard. Dark skin. You know what Darkies, they say that word. Or yeah. That's I understand that. I appreciate that as opposed to not having it at all because I'm like that's you're this is let's be honest, right? So I don't know if we're gonna be going up against like some hardcore, like some capital riot type shit in
You
GTA
never
6,
know.
but
I mean, I'm hyped, man. Like
I'm
I
just
remember that I
hyped.
mentioned this in my I did the little breakdown of the GTA 6 trailer, and I was talking about how excited I
Yeah,
was to be playing as like a woman in a Grand Theft Auto
yeah,
game. Not even just
yeah.
that, a woman of color.
I didn't even
A
talk about. I
who
haven't even talked
a
about her.
woman of
Yeah,
color in a game as huge as Grand Theft
yeah,
Auto.
yeah. And she's a
That's
thick. She's like a Latina. She's curvy mid. So I don't know if like
like
why
there are
that
a
what
lot of people that would
motivated.
probably be upset about that, but like who cares? That I mean, this is a
I'm not.
huge thing.
I haven't. My thing about that. Okay, so my thing. When I was thinking about this yesterday, right? It's. I mean, it's going to be on our minds forever until it's out, right? Is my only concern is like they do that. It's very easy, or it was. You get like an attractive woman, say different color, right? And like in the movies, what do? What is always they make them exotic. They make that a thing, right? Oh, she's exotic. Oh, she's not from. Oh,
Yeah,
she's special. She's different, right? They're gonna treat it like her like almost like an object, right? Or almost like this, like that word exotic is very problematic. I don't know if you knew that already, but like women don't like women of color, especially like oh
yeah.
man, she's exotic. That's not a good thing to say, right? My only concern is they kind of do that with her character because it's easy to do that with a character not from
Yeah, yeah.
here, and then she's like, oh, she's from Colombia and she's so tough and she's
The
so
only
different, right?
thing is, I mean, maybe in certain areas, but if we're spending a lot of our time in Vice City, maybe not as
Right?
much considering the
Yeah,
population of I mean, it's based off
yeah,
Miami and considering that
yeah.
population there. But I mean,
That's a lot of people like.
it's a valid
Yeah,
concern though. I didn't even really consider
yeah.
that. Um,
It's very
but
easy to
I
do
mean,
like
I mean, it's like you were just saying, man. Like at Rockstar, I have faith in them. Like like they don't
yeah.
usually.
That's what I'm saying too. That's what I'm saying. The otherization. That's what I'll use that word. They otherize this woman by making her be like instead of just like this is just a fucking person, right? I don't think Rockstar rarely ever misses out on any of the subtleties. So, but my theory is, man, you know how Scarface begins?
Yeah.
I think it's going to begin very similarly, dude. Where you start as her in jail and they let her out or something, dude. And then you arrive here. I don't know. For some reason, I keep thinking she's not American. I don't think she is because her name is. I think she had an accent too. From what I heard, she sounded like she had an accent in the
Mm-hmm.
trailer. So she's gonna come here and you're gonna be like Tony Soprano or Tony Montana, but with this
You're gonna
girl
be working at a
instead.
food truck, and you're gonna.
You're gonna be playing as her, working as like a food truck or a wait something like bogus, right?
Then you
But you're
meet
gonna get a
Jason.
taste of like you're gonna get a taste of her family life and like just those kind of things like her room.
Oh
If she has a Roman,
yeah, dude. Did you hear?
but
I don't know if you saw the leak that she had. Like apparently she's gonna have like a son that appears in like cutscenes only.
oh my god, dude, like she has a kid, like a
Like yeah,
little
I
boy.
don't know how true that it just came out in the leaks, but I have no
That will be
idea.
fucking nuts, dude. What's her name? Valeria, right?
Lucia.
Lucia child. Let's see this. Child rumor. There's already a Lucia has a daughter.
Oh, a daughter. I thought it was a
In
son.
okay, yeah, this is the one you're talking. It only has 16 likes, but it looks legit. It's Rockstar Universe. I'm gonna read towards the end. This is the first for GTA and a step forward from having children in game, but old enough, getting involved in things which they shouldn't. Cough, Jimmy from Bully. However, Lucia's child is believed to be much younger and only appears in cutscenes similar to Jack in Red Dead 1 and 2. Okay, there's leaks that she dies. That's like the next page. I just fucking read something. She gives. I don't know if I should
Jesus.
read that. She gives her life for Jason, the other protagonist. I don't think they're gonna do something stupid like that. I
Nah.
think that
Nah.
they're gonna. They're and it's fun because me and Eric here, we can debate more. That's just too easy. Like we have to
Yeah.
have a game. Like we have to envision a world and an end game where you can do stranger missions with either character, right? So, like, I'm like,
Yeah.
there. What else is
I feel
there?
like you and I are both in the same boat of like we don't want no bullshit where one of the
It's too
protagonists die.
it's
We're
too
just like
easy.
literally
It's too
just like
easy.
make it to where I don't even know
Yeah,
if I want multiple. I mean, there might be multiple endings because the past couple of
because
GTA's done that.
a very good ending, we
But
don't want that either. That's something boring where we all live. Like that's also like GTA 5 was
no,
that wasn't
I
like
would
the
want that though. I would want
no.
that
So there has
for
to be
this
some
story, for
there.
like a love. I don't want it to
Yeah,
be like a actual Bonnie and Clyde like tragedy, but I would like it to be like these two people
yeah,
make it out
get away.
alive. You
Like,
know, like
yeah,
I mean, it
a
might
lot of people
cost a
die.
lot. You know, it
Yeah,
might cost a lot, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, those
yeah.
two main
The
characters.
thing is, I do agree, but like I think that with GTA 4, they really understood that, and like there is a really good ending, right? And it's really cheesy, and they give it to you, but they were like, we still have to kill your girlfriend. They still had to like make it. They had to do something. So from the vibes of this commercial, this trailer, they're gonna do something. I don't think they're gonna go full on Michael Bay. I don't know what it is. My only theory is that you can have an ending where they both live, but they do not interact with each other. Like you can't even run into each other because they
Oh
hate
wow,
each other, right? And I
that would
think
be interesting.
that's the only thing in my mind that I can think of that's like really unique, like that hasn't been done yet, right? Because they did that in GTA 5 with the bad endings, right? Like Trevor won't want to talk to you, or no
Oh
one wants to
really?
talk to each other. Yeah, if you
So
do the
if you kill
endings,
Michael, like Trevor won't talk to you.
Trevor won't. He won't talk
Wow.
to you anymore.
Okay, I
And
didn't
if
know
you
that.
kill,
I mean,
if
I
you
never
kill,
do the other endings, so
I mean, you know the other ending too, where Michael won't talk to you either, and it was his fault. So that ending, and that was an issue with that game. It's just the character. It was just all over. Like Michael turned into a bitch, and like you literally is your fault that he's dead, not me. I'm just the trigger. Franklin's just the guy doing the thing. You're the one with the idea, and then he acts like you're the one that it was your idea and shit. And Michael's like, I can't talk to you anymore, man. It's so stupid. I hated it, but I like the concept. So I do think that they have to keep the multiple endings because they've always had them since
yeah,
four. They've had
yeah.
multiple endings, so that would be there better be choices too, man. But the writing, I hope you guys have been reading like a lot of nonfiction books about like gangs and just like drugs and domestic and just like poverty and criminality, and then put stories about people in real life and make a fictional character and put them in a mission. I think that's how it's really, and I think that's why you and I think that's why everybody enjoys like these games because when the missions are like that, they feel like cutscenes, right? Like like even this, I still feel like I wasted my time, but I was glad because that mission with Mr. White and Mr. Black, it ends with Mr. Black or the Mr. White, the black guy. He's like, they were like, I decided to help him, right? But he didn't want to say what happened. He was like, I don't want to even get into it, man. I was like, was this guy fucking assaulted by like a cop? Was he like touched or something? Because he didn't want to talk about why he was arrested. All of a sudden, I'm fucking thinking all this extra shit, and it's just a cutscene. And I thought I was like, yo, they're right, and they like each other. They're like, while I walk away, the cutscene was still going, and they're like, the conversation was still going. They were like, yeah, I can't wait to get rid of you, but we should stay together for now. Yeah, just until it dies down. Yeah, it's always good to be with somebody else. Yeah, later in the future we'll part. Like they start to like each other. Like they're
Mm-hmm.
coming up with excuses to stay together. And then another one, that guy that you control a fucking boat. I left.
Yeah,
Dude, I shit you not. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay and see what happens, dude. He was trying to convince those guys. The conversation played out, dude. And the guys were like, I don't think so. And he fucking throws the thing
oh
on the
wow.
ground, and then he just sits there like you damn Americans, you don't want to. It was like, yo, dude, I was already fucking walking away. I never saw that, but like it continued to play out, dude. It was so cool, dude.
That's
In
pretty cool.
Cyberpunk, someone mentioned this about the DLC. I don't know if you mentioned it with Idris Elba, and I did it because they said it on Kind of Funny, right? Like, or was it the GameScube? Like, if you leave when Songbird's talking to no, not her, the bartender. I forgot. You can
Oh,
dance
what
with
was her
her.
name? Alex? Was that her name?
I liked her. I liked. Honestly, I wanted to romance. I liked Alex the most. I was like, I have a
Yeah,
pro.
I ain't gonna
Honestly,
lie.
I think that
I
I
was
think
with Judy at the time though, so I
they
was like,
wrote it
yeah,
out. They wrote it out because you dance with her, and
yeah.
then
That
it
scene
looks
where
like
she was
they added
dancing,
another.
I was like, this is very
They
sexy.
added they added something in there, and they took it out last. Because I'm positive that you could have slept with her or something. I don't know why they got rid of it, but I liked that. that can I say sleep together. Like, no, dude, you want them to date because they have good cutscenes, like a good die. It was very interesting. But if you leave, they still talk, and you can like just like stay there, and they'll have a full conversation, dude. I thought that was so cool
That's sick.
because I'm like, I didn't
Did
do that. I'll just fucking leave. But I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
did you see the
You're
meme?
telling me all this
You
stuff,
seen
and I'm
the
like, I just walk away.
Bro, you seen these memes with like like the eye, like the emoji with the eyes like spaced out,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
Arthur, whenever someone says, "Can we get some privacy?" Because you're up in everybody's business all the time, bro. Fucking spying and shit. I love that shit. I'll just be like, "This, what the
Dude,
fuck,
speaking of the
Abigail and
Mr. White,
John?"
Mr. Black mission, have you done all of those?
No, but I know there's more because I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
because
pretty sure I run into these
I
guys.
didn't realize. I thought before I had done all of them, but I didn't realize that there was. I think it's like 6 of them, maybe, no, maybe not that many, maybe like 5 or something.
Yeah.
And I remember running into them like in the like up near the like Grizzlies, and they had like we're in a little cabin together, and Arthur's like, "Hey, I know you," because I saw a question mark pop up in that area. I've never seen this question mark over here. I go over there, and it's them, and Arthur's like, "Hey, I know you fellas," and it's them, and they're like doing well, and they're like still hanging out together. And I was like, "Oh, that's like really beautiful." They become like best
That's
friends.
really endearing, right? And you're very heartwarming. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it reminded me a lot of Psych, dude. I don't know if you've seen Psych, dude. That was like my favorite show when
No,
I
I
was a
haven't
kid.
seen
Dude.
it.
Sean and Gus is fucking fantastic, dude. Give it a watch any day, dude. It's on any streamer, bro. Sean and Gus, dude. Because there's the same thing, dude. It's like the white dude, the black dude. They're like BFFs, and they're like detectives, and they're comedic. And their whole thing is like Sean is a psychic. He's pretending. Like the first episode, he's like a slacker deadbeat, right? And Gus is a pharmaceutical guy. And Sean, he fakes being a psychic, and the show is just called Psych, dude. It's the fucking best, dude. Where Sean's like the goofy white dude, and Gus is like a fart, like he's kind of the like. By the end of the show, dude, not the end, like mid season, Sean and Juliet, you know, two attractive white people, they get together, right? She's like a cop, and Gus is like gets the girl of every episode. He'll be the one with the girlfriend, dude, and it's so funny, dude.
You're really
It's such a
selling me
good
on
show.
it. I have no idea what it was about,
You
but
gotta,
that sounds really
bro.
good.
They have reference. They do a lot of like reference. They have a lot of cameos. Dude, John Cena's in there. Fucking
But you can't see
Robert
him though.
Patrick's in there, dude. You can't see him. You can't. You know, it's one of those things, dude. But no, man. I could add that mission was like I was about to miss that mission because this fucking I didn't know like yeah. Do you have to go places? They don't show up all on the map like
Yeah,
before. Like you have
yeah.
to be in the area for the question mark pop up. So I'm like, damn, dude. So many that I missed already because I was like, I'll go do it later, man. And I was like, no, dude, when you see streams, you're supposed to go fucking do them right then and there. I didn't fucking know that,
Exactly.
dude. I was like, oh, dude, I'll just do this shit later, dude. I'm glad I did the one with the fucking nun, dude, because that shit helps
Oh,
your honor a
absolutely.
lot. Dude, there's like fucking slaves in a fucking
Yeah, at the trap,
store, dude.
or not the trap, the
That was
fence.
fucking I killed him, dude. I beat the shit out of him, dude. I reloaded because I came up like, if he's gone, I'm like, fuck no, dude. He needs to pay for this shit. I reloaded that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
And as soon as I got it, I just fucking like pop, pop, pop.
Dude, I
His head
remember I
over the
went in
fuck
there
out of me.
later, and Arthur was like, "Hey, what happened to the fella that I dealt with last time?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, that was my brother." And he was like, "You know anything about those people that were locked up downstairs?" And he was like, "No, of course not." I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "All right, dude."
I was about to say, dude, did I just lock myself out forever from the story?
No, no.
I need to buy.
Apparently
I
during
need to
that
finish
mission,
it.
it's a different guy at the thing. So I guess you're
Okay,
free to
that
kill
was
him or whatever.
okay. Thank God, dude. Because I've heard of like other people like, yo, I blew the doctor's head off, dude, and he just has a bandage on his head when he comes back. He didn't
Oh
have a face,
shit.
dude. He doesn't have a neck, dude. His head is missing, dude. That's what people were saying, dude. But yeah, dude, that shit was crazy, man. I love when they're gory like that, dude. I don't know, man. It's been a while since I played it. I don't think they've ever made a game this gory, dude. I've never shot somebody's limb off, but I've shot their head off with a shotgun. You can do that. Their head will just go missing, dude.
Man, I love that too with the shotgun. Just absolutely
Yeah, man.
obliterates them. Oh
It's
man.
definitely the best thing.
It's 8:41. Let's
Damn,
get through more of these topics.
Yeah, man. So I sent you this link. I didn't even look at this game. I'll be honest with you, dude. I just saw fucking dinosaur.
Which one is it? Sun and Bone.
Sun and Bone.
I mean, we can skip that one if need, because I mean I watched the trailer, but I didn't really know.
You didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
It looks a little low budget.
We can definitely talk about this Arkane thing.
Yeah, man. That got me hyped, man. They were just talking about that.
Yeah. So Arkane founder teases ambitious new RPG as quote Fallout meets Dishonored.
That is very. I mean, that's not something to sell to somebody. I don't know, but it's very perfect. A combination of two things. I don't really understand. People are always saying that Dishonored is like a simulator, like an immersion sim.
Is it?
I guess, yeah, people say that because I guess you can eat and you can move objects, like you can physically move things. I think that's the only two reasons why.
Dishonored. I mean, I think I've played like Dishonored 2, like a demo. That's all I've played.
Yeah. But I mean, in that same token, you could say Red Dead 2 is an immersion simulator, and it's far more of one because you're literally every little motion is in the game. There's no arcadey. You're opening your satchel to look at your inventory. There's no pick. Like everything is picked up physically. Mm-hmm. Dishonored, you just eat things, and there's objects. So there is a lot of that. I mean, you talk to people. It's RPG light. I feel like it's sort of an immersion simulator, but I think that's interesting use of that word just because you can eat things and like move objects and like manipulate your surroundings. I don't think that makes it like an immersion simulator because it still feels more gamey than Red Dead 2, you know. Yeah. It has a lot in common with Fallout in terms of like object and inventory management kind of things, I guess you could say. The dialogue, even, I mean, there's multiple options for dialogue, but honestly, what I think of now is like Fallout with powers, and that sounds a lot more like Fallout with teleportation, you know, because that's like the coolest thing about Dishonored is blinking. So you combine that. I think what they're trying to say is that they're making like a new Dishonored RP like world, like art Dishonored, but it's going to have choices and the freedom of Fallout. So there's going to be dialogue options. There's going to be karma. There's going to be what's the word I'm looking? Tribes. Like there can be different factions that you can join, and it will affect the story. But I think that's what I ultimately get from this. It's like Dishonored, but with consequences, you know, and not that it's boring, but it wasn't like the most exciting setting. So it might be in some weird ass Mad Max, you know, Fallout-y world, you know. But I don't think that
post-apocalyptic, yeah.
Yeah. I know that they made it. It does, and honestly, it just. I mean, Prey. They made Prey too, so Prey will be in that as like a influence. You know, and I haven't played that, but that is an immersion simulator too. In that same regard, yeah. You have to sleep and stuff. But I'm excited for it, man. You know, Dishonored, Arkane, they deserve a second shot. You know, obviously, we all do. Redfall, as massive as it was, of a blunder. I mean, they did make each other games that were good. So, just one game. I mean,
they have bangers on it,
and it's a live service. You know, it's not their fault. I mean, it's the bean count. It's the people that forced them, like they forced Rocksteady to implement these systems that just aren't. They're not what that company's known for, right?
Yeah.
They're not Bungie. They're not Activision. They're Remedy. They're Arkane. They're you know, I want to say Naughty Dog, but Naughty Dog is very. I don't know how they're going to do things from here on out. That's another conversation, right? But from what we have, I mean, I'm glad to see that people are still in that company or that name associated are still trying to create something that you and I are going to want to play, man, and get up and try, you know. I know you're a big fan of those Fallout games. No, I'm playing. I don't think we've ever talked about Fallout that much. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just not really a huge RPG guy in general. Which, like I said, it makes me sad because I love post-apocalyptic stuff. But man, Fallout is just.
And they just love putting those in Fallout, dude. You got to play Metro. I'm sure you like that.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I've played a little bit of the first Metro game. I liked what I played.
Yeah, I would just skip to the newest one, dude, because it's got the haptic feedbacks. The graphics are the nicest, man.
Can't do that. I gotta play through the other ones.
I'm just looking at this post-launch release of all this DLC, 2 cosmetic bundles, 2 story packs. That's what's really concerning with this whole Star Wars Outlaws, man. That's what concerns me. Yeah, I just had to look it up, man, because I just always look at that shit, you know.
Yeah. Let's talk.
I haven't looked at the shadows yet. Yeah.
So, I mean, the game comes out. Jesus, it comes out later this month. Wow, it's wild. And Ubisoft put out a roadmap for future post-launch content. Got a couple like story expansions and a bunch of other stuff, but like I think the most notable ones that I saw was Star Wars Outlaws Wild Card, which comes out in fall of this year. And the synopsis is Kay is hired to infiltrate a high-stakes sabacc. Is that how you pronounce that? Sabacc tournament. But as she crosses paths with the notorious gambler Lando Calrissian, she soon learns that another game is being played. So we're getting Lando in this game, which is wild. I'm surprised they went that route. I mean, not really, considering what this game is focused on.
The character you're playing is. They went there, man. They brought.
It's also like kind of like. Is this canon?
Yeah, this is canon, 100%.
That's wild, man. Bring it back.
Yeah, dude.
Bring back Lando. When the first story pack.
The show never came.
There was supposed to be a show.
Who do you think is going to be? Do you think it's going to be Donald, or do you think it's going to be Billy?
I feel like, if I'm being honest, they're probably going to go the Donald route. Just for the
really? You think it's going to be Donald?
I don't know. I feel like it won't be either. They'll probably do their own thing, but I feel like it might.
I think it would be weird. I think it would be a weird choice.
It's hard to say.
I think
because you would like to think that the oldest version is more recognizable, but at the same time, it's like
it's Donald Glover.
I guess you have to think about
any other question.
Who's going to be like playing this game? Like, who's the target audience?
I'm pretty sure that this comes out during. Well, actually, it doesn't matter, right? It's going to be a young version of him, right? I'm assuming. Because the old version's like in episode 9, right? So this is way before that, because they're still stormtroopers. So true. I think that they would go. Yeah. I think they're going to go with Billy.
I actually don't know.
They're just going to make
when in the timeline does this take place?
I think this is like during episode 4, probably episode 5. So
okay, yeah, you're right.
I think it would be Billy Dee Williams. Just that's what they did with the game for Battlefront. They're just going to make him look young, and they'll have him. It might not even be him. He might sound too old, honestly. Because he's just, an older man. He's like 90 now. Yeah. But he could sound young. They did that for Wolverine.
They're definitely like, oh shit, it's going to be Lando. People are definitely going to buy this. I mean, realistically, people are. It's Lando, but.
Yeah, they will.
I just thought that was very interesting. That they're putting.
But it depends on how it does from the get-go. If they buy the game itself, right? Yeah. Which I think they will. I think I will when it's on sale. It's no longer unless they show some other YouTube clip and I'm like, okay, this shit is, I got to do this shit, right? If they show like a clip of someone going into a city and you're looking for people in the city to hunt, then, but if it's like what we've seen right now, and there's not a lot of that, what I just mentioned, then it's going to be like $20 buy from me, maybe 30.
Yeah.
I will own this game.
It's definitely going to my 2025 backlog, that's for sure.
I think I would definitely play. I think I'll definitely have fun with this game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just gonna have more fun knowing I got it on sale.
Exactly. You're like, oh man, this was a steal. I like that feeling.
Yeah. The DLC that would get me hyped would be if they had Mandalorian, dude, or like not Mandalorian, but the Mandalorians themselves,
Yeah.
dude. They fly in. That shit would be nuts.
That would be sick.
But they seem confident. They seem confident though, so I'm gonna keep giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And you know what? They stuck to their release date. No, that there's been no surprises there, even when we thought there would be. Nope, it stayed pretty
Ubisoft
much
is
in
good
August,
about
man.
that. If anything, I remember that time when they put they didn't delay Assassin's Creed Valhalla. They pushed the release date up. They were like, actually, you know what? We're gonna come
Now
out.
we're ready
We're
now.
come out. Mind you, they were coming out around the time Cyberpunk was, so I can kind of understand why they did that. But
yeah,
I was like, oh shit,
still
that's cool.
That's a baller move, dude. That's baller move.
Yeah.
I know what you think about us, man, but you know what? We're gonna release this game earlier. How is that for doubt, man? How's that for confidence, bro? Cyberpunk, I'm not scared of you. Fuck. You have one game. I have a franchise.
No, they were
Try to
definitely
beat
scared.
that.
They were definitely scared. That's why they moved.
They were scared. They were like, no, dude, you're gonna take all of our shit. Take all of our numbers, man. All of our customers, dude. Oh, the money's going in the wrong pocket.
Well, yeah, underneath the Star Wars Outlaws wild card, it says when this first story pack is released, Season Pass owners will also get the Hunter's Legacy bundle and the Cartel Ronin bundle with additional outfits for Kay and Nyx, plus cosmetics for Kay's speeder and her ship, the Trailblazer. That's a cool name. Then there's another, what looks like to be another story expansion coming in spring 2025 called A Pirate's Fortune. The Trailblazer's reputation precedes Kay as she runs into veteran pirate Hondo Anaka, who is looking to settle old scores with a ruthless gang of pirates. So, yeah, it looks like they got some things planned. They're trying to have us playing this for a while.
From what I've heard, because I've been listening to the podcast where they've played this game already, so there have been a lot of comparisons to it is not a Far Cry, or it is much closer in line. I think this will excite you to Uncharted. There's a lot of comparisons to that one level.
I was hearing.
There's that.
Kind of funny. I was hearing Tim Geddes talk about it. He kept bringing up Uncharted, which.
Yes, that's the one I was talking about too. That one level in Borneo or wherever it is, where it's very open. Mm-hmm. You know that level. I don't remember the level, but like that's all of this game is like that one level in Uncharted.
It wasn't Borneo. It was Madagascar.
Right. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of.
I mean, and if it can be as good, it's pretty exciting. Like I said, I keep hearing that, man. I keep hearing that. Oh, it's like Uncharted. It reminds me of
Uncharted. That's what makes you. I've got to. Yeah. Dude, I gotta fucking play that then, dude.
And I've heard Kay is like a pretty, wisecracking character. I don't know. I really feel like I would really like it, but like you were saying, I don't know if it's something I would go out and spend. I mean, it's gonna launch at what, 70? I'm pretty sure.
I think for you, I think the thing holding you back, man, you can correct me wrong, is that it's the graphically, it's just the performance stuff. That's really just
well. I mean, I was expecting a little bit better.
It just looks kind of slow.
But it's more so I'm just not really interested in playing it at launch. But I'll definitely. It's also.
It's just Shadows just looks that much better, right?
It's also Shadows on top of that. I mean, like we were just talking about Red Dead a bunch. Like I'm working on 100%ing that. I mean, I just feel like there's a little bit of like open world fatigue where it's like I don't know if I want to. When it comes to like open world games like that, I know how I am. I'm very much the type of dude who will, like, I can get lost in a world. And it's all about, do I want to do that right now? You
want to do like a checklist game in a Star Wars universe. That's what it's going to be. That's what Ubisoft does.
Yeah, and I'm like, do I?
And
really
if it's fun, that's great.
That? I mean, I hope that it's really this really cool immersive open world Star Wars experience that you kind of wanted for so long. But
you cannot make that mistake of comparing this to Red Dead 2, though, man. Or even playing that.
No. I know what I'm getting into. I just mean like in terms of like it being an open world, and I know how I am.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Because like I played the hell out of Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey. I explored every nook and cranny of those worlds. Like it's a Ubisoft open world game. I just, like I said, I know how I am when it comes to these games, and like sometimes I can really get into them. And like I said, that's what I'm doing with Red Dead now. I'm like, by the time I finish this 100% playthrough, I'm gonna be burnt out, and I'm like, I'm gonna need like a linear experience.
Oh yeah.
So
I love that you're committing to it, man. I don't know if I can commit to that. I'm
doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Yeah,
Those challenges. The only thing that has me somewhat worried is the challenges. Those challenges can be a little bit much, but even those, I'm slowly but surely making my way through.
I don't know how you're doing with the hunting, man. That part is just like,
the hunting is a pain in the ass.
I was stressed. Finding fucking snake took me forever, dude. Find a snake, dude. 3, and then not even that, it has to be perfect condition.
Oh yeah. The hunting request too. Is that what you're talking about? The hunting request where you have to find the perfect I think it's the perfect pelts and stuff like that.
No, I'm doing that for my outfits, because you can't craft an outfit without, it has to be perfect.
Oh, so you're taking stuff to trapper and all. Yeah. No, I don't really do all of that.
No, don't do it, dude. It's not worth it.
I did it in one of my playthroughs because I really wanted this hood that like I was like, oh, that looks cool, and I was like, I worked
the alligator head.
No, it was an alligator. It was like, I can't remember what type of.
They have a bear. It's like a bear one as well.
The bear one is really cool. But
they look cool, but I'm like, I don't get those because it's too much. It doesn't make sense though either. Like, what am I gonna go into town with this bear hat?
Yeah.
Give me a cool cowboy hat, man.
But yeah, no, I'll definitely be playing Star Wars Outlaws. It looks like something I really enjoy. Just not. I mean, I'm trying to. I have a stack of games that I'm I have ready for me to play throughout next year to keep me occupied until GTA 6 comes out. So that'll definitely
play Survivors. Dude, hell, that's a great game, dude. Survivors.
I was supposed to play that this year. Never got around to it.
You have that?
No, I haven't. I haven't got it.
Dude. Yeah. So good, dude. Do you have a gun with your lightsaber, dude? You're just shooting shit up.
It looks great, man. I really do want to play that. So I might play those back to back. I might play Survivor, play Star Wars if I really get on like a Star Wars kick.
Dude, have you played the first one?
Fallen Order, yeah.
Dude, I think that you gotta play. I feel like that's the next game you gotta. The story's like that. That shit is so good, dude. Cal Kestis is not fucking around, dude.
I want to replay.
He might be. I don't want to spoil.
I might do a replay because I haven't played it in a few years. So I might replay Fallen Order and then play Survivor, so it's like fresh in my mind.
Yeah, dude. Because if you play this, you're not gonna be able to play Fallen Order again. No question. You're just gonna be like,
it's that different.
Maybe I should play. I rushed the fuck out of that because I wanted to know. I didn't want to get spoiled. But I mean, no, dude. Fallen Order's it's okay. It's just like. It's good, but you can tell it's the first one.
So like the sequel really, really improved on it.
It's not like really. There's some areas that are huge compared to the first one. The graphics throughout the whole thing are really good. I love the customization. You can wear like a beard and shit, and you can change your. It's a lot.
Those jackets look sick. I want to get one of those.
I really don't think it's that. I liked it a lot. They tried a lot. It doesn't feel like that much of a innovation. They could have waited.
So for you, it's really the story that's like so much.
The story is what I like. Honestly, even then, the story wasn't as. I'm always like whenever if I waited forever, I waited. This was one of those games that I couldn't go to sleep because I was about to. I bought it already. It was like downloading on my PS5.
Okay.
So I was like, as soon as I woke up, dude, I was like. It's weird. As soon as it's out, I don't play it. Like I don't feel it. I was like, it's there. But then I just made myself play it, and I was like, there's some things that I would have done better. Some things are missing, but ultimately, it was just.
It was a great experience. It was like the overall.
I didn't have it.
That was.
I think that made it great. Yeah, I think that my eyes hurt. I played it so much when it came out. I know like that, so I didn't have as much fun at the end because I was just like. Had a headache and shit.
Yeah, I've definitely since I've gotten older, that's something I've definitely tried to get better with. Is like when I was younger, if I got a new game and I got into it, I would play it till my eyes bled, dude. And I was like, there would come a point, especially if you knew you were towards the end of the game, you're like, dude, I'm almost at the end. So you're like, I don't want to stop playing because then if my next play session won't be long because I'll like play it and then I'll beat the game. So you just keep playing, and then it's like you get to like a hard boss fight or something, You're getting frustrated because you're just like, I just want to go to sleep, but you don't want to stop playing because you're just like, I gotta beat this.
Don't ever, dude. Honestly, don't ever play it. Elden Ring will. I was listening to like H3, the guy Dan, but like no, dude. You'll spend a whole afternoon. You'll spend like 5 hours on a boss,
Dude,
on
I
one
tried
boss.
playing another Crap's Treasure and I was struggling on that. I'm like, I'm not playing Elden Ring. Screw that.
Yeah, dude. Like honestly, it's like one boss you'll be like, I'm this close every time, dude. And then you'll keep dying, and then you win, and then you're just like, you feel like a god, dude, because you beat that shit.
See,
You
that's
did
the
that
thing.
shit.
I don't know if I would feel that way. I feel like I would just be like, it's over. I wouldn't even.
Well, how'd you feel about Bogdo Anno, man? Because that's basically like a miniature version of that. You know,
How'd I feel about what?
like what's that name of that frog, Bogdo Agno, in the first one that you fight?
Oh,
You fall into like a pit. You fight that frog.
if I'm being
That's
honest,
like a Dark Souls boss.
that game actually frustrated the hell out of me because
Dude,
isn't it considered like a
it
Souls light game?
is. It's like a Dark Souls for kids.
There were boss fights where I was like, what the fuck is going
No,
on?
dude,
Because
this one has fights that are up
I
there.
didn't
Dude.
know when I went into
The
the
Vader
game.
fight, you fight Vader. The Vader fight in this one is fucking hard,
Are you
dude.
serious?
The Vader fight in this one is hard. You know the girl, the woman, Seer, you play as her. You know, your
Holy
mentor.
shit.
You play as her and you fight Vader, and that's probably the best fight in the game, dude.
Wow.
That's the best fight in the game.
Well,
It took me like 5 times
better
to
be
beat that.
prepared to be for
Dude,
that
Cal might
rage.
be a Sith in third. I don't want to spoil anything, but Cal might be on some ones. He'd be all like, "Nope, he's dead now." Like he made sure that shit
Holy
was.
shit. All right, yeah,
I'm
I
trying to
might
tell you,
maybe
dude.
make that one of my top priority games to play next
One of the
year.
end game, the ending. You get an ability at the end of the game. It's like a cheat mode. It's like a rage mode. You get a rage mode. I just spoiled that for you just to tell you a little something. But you do get like a rage mode, and it doesn't go away. It goes. I mean, like the ability stays. I mean, so like the rest of like you just run around. I mean, you know, it's like there's not really much left to do. You already beat the game.
Yeah.
You can explore, but then sometimes you get that press the L3 R3 together, and then he gets mad as fuck, or I don't know, something crazy happens, dude, and then you just start tearing shit off, dude. So I don't know what they're gonna do with Cal, but I hope it's not too basic, man, because they're hinting at some things here, dude. With that rage mode, Jedi's don't have rage, Eric. That's trait synonymous with what, Eric?
The
The
dark
fucking
side
Sith.
of the Force.
the dark side of the Force, dude. Are we gonna be playing as a Sith? EA Games, where I'm asking you, EA, if you're listening, EA, yeah, are you gonna let me? You're gonna let me play as a Sith again, dude?
Dude,
You're gonna let me be Star
we're
Killer?
gonna
You're gonna
find
let
out in
me
the
Force
third
Unleashed?
game that Cal is a Palpatine.
He's Revan. He's Darth Revan. He's Palpatine's son. No, dude, Palpatine reabsorbed Cal Kestis' genes so that he became some random fucking crazy ass shit.
Let's hope they don't fumble it like the
Dude,
Disney movies did.
Dude, if they do that, Star Wars is dead to me, dude. Nothing. Not even Andor, bro, can bring it back. Yeah.
Really, I've heard that one is
And
really good
Andor
though.
season 1, fantastic. It was great. I saw the first season, dude, so fast. And that second season that just got announced, bro, that's just looking like Hurt Locker in Star Wars universe, dude. It's looking like Black Hawk Down, like real shit with Star Wars coloring and painting, but it's like very real shit. That's what makes this show good, dude.
I gotta watch it.
The
I
first
remember I
episode, he
went
goes,
back to watching the Book of Boba Fett because I didn't finish that.
"Don't. Why would
And I
you
was
watch
like,
that shit? Don't
because
even.
I really
That
like the
shit.
Mandalorian, man, and I was like, this. From what I heard is that it basically
Just
turns
watch
into
that one
Mandalorian.
episode, dude. Just skip to that episode that's only Mandalorian that Boba Fett's in for 5 minutes. You seen that one where he cuts the dude in half? He's like,
No, I thought
with
that's
the
what the
black
whole
saber.
show becomes. That's what people made it seem like. They were like, oh, it just becomes about the Mandalorian.
That when that episode starts, it's Mandalorian, dude. He has the fucking black saber.
So I don't have to
Cuts
see
an
anything
alien
before
in
that
half.
because I'll definitely
No,
skip,
dude. Just skip that
which
shit,
I hate
dude.
doing,
Honestly,
but I'll do it.
they're so bad. They fumbled it so bad with that. But you skip to that part, and then the last episode, he's riding a fucking Rancor, dude. Mandalorian is, or Boba Fett is, dude. Boba Fett and Mandalorian team up, bro. It's the most badass shit, dude. And Mandalorian's flying around with a lightsaber, bro, and a fucking
Yeah,
jetpack,
I gotta say,
just
man, it bums
cutting
me
shit
out
up.
too because you see Mandalorian season 3.
No,
I heard
man.
people
I
didn't
watched
like
like
it.
one
I heard people
episode.
didn't like it. It's making me sad because I'm like, I really like the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian.
You liked it? I
Oh,
didn't even watch it because
absolutely.
I I trusted their words because I'm like, it seemed like Boba Fett. I trusted it was boring, and it just
Nah,
seemed
dude,
boring. Is
the
episode
first
season
two
three
seasons of
boring?
the Mandalorian they're great.
No, I've seen those too. I'm talking about the third season, man.
Yeah, no,
I
I didn't
haven't
see the
watched it
third
yet
season
because of that.
because I heard
I
that
trust
it
them for
was
some reason. It just sounds boring. I'm like, why, dude? I don't give a shit about it. The Book of Boba Fett had such a crazy finale in that one episode with Mandalorian. It promised a lot, and for it to be like, I don't even think it's getting season 4. Do you see that poster yet? They have a movie,
really.
Mandalorian and Grogu. Just look at the image. I'll be right back. I have to go pee. I'll be back in 5 seconds. Yo, dude, I was just looking at fucking I was just looking on IGN, bro. Fucking Disney, they're making Toy Story 5, Incredibles 3, Frozen
Yeah,
3.
yeah,
Let's go, bro. Disney Resurrection in sight, bro. I'm
yeah,
hyped.
yeah.
Incredibles 3 is really what's making me shocked, dude, because we didn't get
If I'm being honest,
any of
I've
these
lost
movies.
all excitement for Incredibles at this point, dude.
Get out of here, bro. Did you not like the second one?
Uh, no, I
Bro,
didn't.
why not, man?
The first Incredibles
Dude,
movie,
it's so good.
it's so good. It's so good. And it
I
ends.
have to agree, bro. I can't remember the second one at all, dude. If I was saying that, like, what
Dude,
actually
it's
happened?
so
What
good.
actually
It's
happened in that
timeless.
movie?
And then you like listen, I'm one of the few people that actually don't like the sequel. And I remember Mark, who was just on a little bit ago. Mark was one of the only people that was on that island with me. He didn't like the second one
Yeah.
either. And then he recently went back and rewatched
Wow.
it and he was like, actually I like it. So he just left me alone on this island. I was like, dude, come on.
Wow.
Like I think once you get over like the excitement of like, oh, this is a new Incredibles thing, it's really not all that great of a
Finally, yeah.
movie. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. It's a good movie, but in terms of a sequel to The Incredibles, it just does nothing for me. It doesn't expand on much of anything in any meaningful way. It just didn't. Like, it makes sense because, like, sure, superheroes and all that stuff, it's still illegal. It's, the yada, yada, yada. But what the first movie sets up, it sets up this family of superheroes. So in a sequel, I'm looking forward to like seeing this family do more stuff together, seeing us find out more about Jack and his powers and what that whole deal is. I thought they were going to dive more
Right.
into that. There was so much story potential there that they just throw away for like a somewhat rehash of the first movie. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know. It's like the beginning where they're fighting the Underminer is like peak. Like that I was like, yes, this movie is awesome. And then they just revert back to just regular suburban life, and like, nah, dude, I didn't vibe with it. Like I said,
I think that for me,
I haven't seen it since it came out, so this is all coming from like,
yeah,
this is coming from the standpoint of like that initial disappointment.
it was
So
like
I would
4 years ago, right? It was like 5 years.
probably longer than that, but like I would have to sit down and really rewatch the movie to have like a definitive opinion, right now.
I still can't believe that there isn't a second Incredibles, dude. I still can't believe that Incredibles 2 exists, dude. This seems like one of those Zack Snyder fucking. It was only ever like in the air. Like this shit didn't exist.
I would have preferred if they didn't make one. And so
Wow. So you're okay if they. So you're talking about like an Iron Giant situation here?
Oh, absolutely. Iron Giant, the Iron Giant is such a good
Is it the same writer?
and yeah, Brad Bird. It's such a good like open and shut story. It's perfect.
Was he involved in it? Was he involved in the set where he's like, I don't want to do this shit. I don't want nothing to do with that, bro.
He did work on the second, and I can tell the way he talks about it. I don't know if his heart was
He did not want
entirely
to
in
do
it.
this shit.
Yeah, you can tell. Like, he was just like, yeah, hey, we made another movie. Now you can shut up about it. It's like the energy he gave was just kind of like, you could tell. I don't feel like he really wanted to make this movie. I don't know.
What was his original? What was the original answer? We're gonna make it, guys, or was it no? There's only one.
I have no idea.
Was that
I just know in like some of the interviews and stuff, he was just like,
because he did this? He's responsible for. He can't be upset if he was like, we're gonna make a second one. If you said that,
true. Yeah, I don't actually know. I don't know if it was a sequel that people were demanding, or if they.
I already agree with you because I can't remember that movie at all, dude. I remember little things about it, but nothing that really
Same here.
matter.
But
Like
that's
the
why I'm
big
saying,
twist
like
of
my
the
my
villain.
opinion
I
that I'm
didn't care
spewing
that
at right
the
now is
villain
like
was.
literally comes from the standpoint of me seeing it way back when it came out and me being disappointed.
Yeah,
I haven't rewatched it since,
yeah.
so like I could rewatch it and
And
be
I
like,
never
okay, you
felt
know what? It's actually not that bad.
that too. I mean, that too. I never felt a desire to watch that movie again. It's so good. I gotta experience
But
it
you know how many
again. You
times I've
know.
watched The
But
Incredibles?
the first movie I've seen that movie so many times, dude. That movie was really good. I remember like a lot of things, not everything, but I remember a lot of things. I can't say the same for the second one. This first one had deleted scenes where what's his name has hair on his suit that Ellen Fine, I remember her name, but not his. I'm gonna say John. Ellen
Bob,
Fine's hair on Bob's dude. You know that silver-haired lady,
Mirage, yeah.
and she's like, "Why do you have this on your suit?" It was a black and white sketch because they didn't animate this, right?
It
Remember
was
those
the
back in the
animatic,
day,
yeah.
the features. They removed it because it was too dark. It was too adult. It was too real. There was no cheating at all in the movie or in that deleted scene. But Ellen's thoughts were, he's being unfaithful to me. And that scene, watching it in the black and white where it's not animated, I felt like I was in the room like, oh shit, fucking Bob, dude. Oh, dude, Ellen. You know what I mean? Like, that
Yeah.
shit is crazy, dude. That is real life adult shit that they put in that movie, or they thought of. They still have. I think there's still an indication that she thinks
Yeah,
he's cheating, but it's
they
not
hint
like.
at it.
But this was like, Bob, tell me what's going on. She's yelling for real, dude, and Bob doesn't say anything because you know that he's trying to keep them safe because he's a superhero again, right?
Right.
But it's almost like, dude, just tell her it's not even as bad as what's happening right now, right? Your whole family's gonna fall apart right now because you're fucking dumbass. But and then the other scene too, where there was a guy that there was friends with them that I remember when they go to get Bob and they get on the plane, they have someone driving them. It's like her dad or like a father figure. He's not in the movie, right? You don't know what I'm talking about, right? Look up the deleted scenes for Incredibles 1. This guy is in the plane with him and it fucking crashes. He fucking dies. And Ellen's like, to the guy's name. And then she gets quiet because he's fucking dead. They had a whole ass character they
Holy
fucking killed
crap.
off in these deleted cutscenes, dude. And it's like her friend, her like childhood like father figure, and she's like in the wreckage with her kids, and she just looks off like, this dude died for us, yo. And I'm like, yo, that was in the fucking
Wow.
deleted scene. I'm telling you, bro, the features for Incredibles 1 was a trip, man. But like, there was so many things, dude. That Underminer fight, they made a game based off of that, dude, on the PlayStation 2. The Incredibles Underminer's Revenge, something like that, dude. So I was like, the fact that they started with that fight, I was so happy. But at the same time, that was the only good part because I was upset. I was like, this motherfucker. I was the same shit as Toy Story. They should be 10 years older. Dash should be fucking 20 years old. Don't do this to us where no time has passed. I'm a grown ass
Yeah,
man.
I want to see more
Don't
stuff with
insult
Jack.
me.
I want to see Jack getting a hang of his older
There
Jack
should have been
getting
a
a hang
whole
of his
ass.
powers.
Why the fuck are we doing it's a time jump? That was the best thing that you could have done. You didn't want to make this movie because if you did, you would have known that that was a mistake. You should have jumped 10 years in the future. That would be so much more. I mean, I'm guessing these movies are in the 50s anyways, right? They're like stuck in time because we have smartphones now. We have like, there's so many things that they could have done if they stuck to time, and like, yes, time is real. How many other fucking topics can you come up with? You have superheroes like Mr. Incredibles. Oh man, do you see how fat he looked on that social media video? They could have made a joke, like assuming some funny
Yeah.
shit where Bob starts getting insecure because of social media, and then Violet's like, oh my god, Dad, stop trying to make thirst traps. You're so lame, you know? There's just something funny like that. But I don't know, maybe Incredibles 3 they'll learn. And
Maybe.
it's like
Dude,
Incredibles 2
it
never
better
even
focus
happened.
on Jack
We just skipped.
Incredibles 3 better
Yeah,
focus on
dude.
Jack, man. If it
He's
doesn't,
literally like Professor X. He's like God. He's like a god, dude, right? He has like all the powers.
like, yeah, literally, I don't know. Like, it felt like they were setting something up with him, but they don't really do anything with it. It's like,
He's like the fucking Hulk too, dude. Could you imagine if Hulk had super speed like that? Oh my god, dude.
It's crazy.
It's like a tank flying around.
I'm not even gonna.
Now
I'm
I want to
not
watch
even gonna open that
one.
can of worms by talking about Toy Story. We'd be here all day.
Oh yeah, dude.
We'll save
No,
that for
dude,
another
Toy Story.
episode.
I haven't even seen the others, but yeah, dude, Toy
Which
Story
ones?
4, well, apparently was fucking fantastic too, dude. And Toy Story 3 ended like so perfectly. I'm like, how the fuck do you end? How do you fuck do you continue that? You know?
Damn it, you're gonna make me do it.
So,
Okay, here's my take. This is a hot take. I don't hear many people say this. I don't think Toy Story 3 is this perfect ending that everybody says it is. I really don't.
oh wow.
I think that Toy Story 4 was. But they're making more, so like, here's the mistake that they made. Okay, Toy Story, I don't feel like they should have written Toy Story to be finite like they have. Like, it's like what people say, it's like, oh, Toy Story 3 was a perfect ending. Oh, and Toy Story 4 comes along and it's like an epilogue and then a send-off and it feels like an ending. But their mistake was making it finite. Like, they shouldn't have written it that way. Because think about Toy Story as a concept. Toy Story lends itself to so many different stories and like adventures with these characters. Like, you could literally just end the movies. Like, you can conclude them, sure, but like leave it open for more stuff. That's what they did after Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3, Andy hands him over to Bonnie, and then we're like, oh, this is the new owner. And then what do they do after that? They don't end it. They make shorts. They make different shorts and specials with them with Bonnie and like all that stuff and the new toys interacting, and it's great. Mm-hmm. Then they make another movie, and it's great, and it just like really fits. And so like when they did the thing where they were like, all right, we're splitting them up, and they're saying goodbye, and this is like the ending. Yeah, it was perfect. I cried, dude. I shed a tear. It was perfect. And so like I'm not mad that they're making a Toy Story 5. But I am kind of like, why would you
touch on something so beautiful, right?
No, not why would you end Toy Story 4 the way that you did, only to turn around and make more?
So they get split. I haven't seen it yet. Is that what happens? They all get split up in the end?
Sorry, man. I forgot you said you didn't see it. Like not everyone, but basically like, Woody decides to leave the group.
Woody?
Yeah.
Leaves.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks quit.
I mean, Woody better be in this next movie. Holy shit! I mean, that's.
They showed him in the fucking thing. They showed him like this, Toy Story 5, and the fucking Disney Con or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how it's gonna work. I don't know what brings them back together. I don't really
honestly
know.
I can't even watch these movies, dude, because I'm positive that I will fucking cry, dude, in any one of these, dude. I will just start bawling out.
Yeah, I cried in that theater watching Toy Story 4. All that nostalgia.
So Toy Story 4 will make me fucking cry. I will cry, dude. I'm not trying to cry right now. I am more emotionally equipped any day of the week to deal with Red Dead Redemption 2's ending and Arthur's death. That's crazy to say that, dude. Than any Toy Story, bro. Fuck
I understand. That. I understand completely. I'm the same way. I don't
need reminders of childhood and like emotional shit with double meanings, bro. Red Dead 2's just this dude, he fucked up, committed crime. Change is good. This shit is about us, dude. Toy Story is about us.
Yeah, no, that's my take. I don't think that Toy Story 3 was this perfect thing. I thought that Toy Story 3 left the door open for more story opportunities. But Toy Story 4 was a good conclusion. But now that they're making more, like I said, I'm not mad that they're making more. I'm just a little bit more so like intrigued. I'm like, I'll
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, like I'll watch it. I'm a huge Toy Story fan. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna enjoy it too. But I'm also just kind of like, y'all should have just left it where it was at 4, not 3.
Dude, my older brother was leaving for college when Toy Story 3 came out, or like he was in that age. So that movie has a lot of like extra meaning for like not even me, just like my mom, dude. I think about her a lot, and like how I feel that movie was really made for like moms, dude. Toy Story 3, you got a friend, because it's all about letting go, saying it. But Toy Story 2 did the same thing with Jesse, dude. So you are kind of not wrong. They've been playing around with the same kind of things in all of them, dude. Jesse, Andy was the new Jesse, so that's really sad. Because like. The thing is, the only way I think is if they do the same thing with Bonnie, like a whole other lifetime, and then Bonnie's is going to college. But I mean, yeah, dude, literally toys are always in that box. Toys stay, you leave. Children, the only thing that changes is the kids playing with the toys.
Yeah.
So that is pretty brilliant for you to, point that out, dude. And them, I think that they figured out what you're saying, and that's what they're going with now. It's like we don't need to end this shit. There's
Yeah.
fucking,
Like absolutely not.
toys and kids are a timeless thing, dude. Kids will always need toys, and toys will always be played with by a kid,
Exactly.
So just to see that,
I'm not
just
one of those people
chopping
that cause yeah, I don't get me wrong, I like things
Personally,
to end, but I also don't feel like just because something has a lot of entries or has a lot of seasons or lasts a long time means it's bad. Like I don't think that's a bad thing for most things, Like especially if there's still that story potential there and you like have things you can do with this world and these characters, why not? Well, you don't have
ultimately,
to
I think yeah, we're wrong though. I agree. You're wrong. I'm wrong. And the best ending for Woody is when he fought against those demons with Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that was. Did you
Hold
forget?
up.
Did you forget
Let him
that part
cook.
of the movie? Did you forget that part of the story,
Yeah, that's
dude?
what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Pixar cook. You know.
Yeah, dude. Let's let them cook, bro. Let's wait for this Kingdom Hearts 4 when it comes in 2040, 2035.
Yeah.
Another decade.
Probably. Sounds about right. Oh
I
man.
still have to beat the first one, but let me complain about this
Yeah, I
one. I'll
still
never
gotta.
get to.
I've only played the first one, so there's that.
Yeah, that music still makes me cry, dude.
Yeah, I
You
should
know what
try to
I'm
get
talking
into it.
about?
Yeah. There's something about those games that are pretty magical, though. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Dude,
man.
that fucking soundtrack, dude.
All right, let's knock out these last couple topics. Sony Santa Monica is supposedly, gonna be making a new IP, something that's not God of War, which
Mm-hmm.
is the main thing they've worked on, and how many years? Like that's all they've really done outside of
2004.
there was like one game they had back in the day that wasn't God of War, but everything after the fact, God of War. So, it's pretty exciting. This comes from, I believe it was like a LinkedIn profile of them looking for people to work on open world sci-fi game, potentially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty exciting. I like God of War.
That's what
So
they're saying. They're saying it's gonna, or that's what you think, or
I
that's what
think
you
I
would
think it
like.
was like rumored that they were working on a sci-fi game before it was
Yeah,
canceled.
so
But
I had to look it up because I'm ashamed, but I'm shocked because that's like one of the first racing games I ever played, and I played it through Jam Pack, which if you guys don't know, Jam Pack was like this old demo disc thing that they would do for like PS2, and they were basically for I got them for free. I don't know how you get them, but it's a disc that you put in your PlayStation 2, and you could play like the first level of like 6 games. Connecticut was one of those, and I played the shit out of that with my cousin. You're like robot people on motorcycles is the coolest fucking thing. So hearing that news of sci-fi, I'm like, no shit, dude. Like, of
like I said,
course they made Connecticut. Yeah,
it's rumored, like I said, that they were working on one and then it was canceled. But I'm still holding out hope for
yeah.
it to actually
I
be that.
That's really still really exciting and crazy. I have to say because I mean, God of War, dude. God of War's so big, it's inspired other games. It inspired a shit ton of copycats. Uh, I mean, this is the new, and it's the new fucking starter of the basically what Resident Evil 4 did, but for melee games, dude. With God of War PlayStation 4, they were a trendsetter with that, a trend starter with that. So they don't even really need to worry about sending in other trends. They could just use what they like this camera system for a sci-fi game, and it's open world. It doesn't have to be, but whatever it is, the new the new teases are gonna be there, and I mean, they've only grown since Ragnarok,
Oh,
dude. So that's
absolutely. And they've
crazy.
established like they do anything. If people see Sony Santa Monica on it, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I gotta get this game,
I'm gonna
automatically.
jump on that train. Yeah.
So they're good.
So they know they're gonna make something good, dude. The only thing I was like, what the fuck, dude? Are they making a Cyberpunk fucking competitor? Because that sounds fucking insane, dude.
No clue.
Because I'm a bigger fan of them still than I like those creators, but I mean Santa Monica Studios, that's like the top tier, dude. I like CD Projekt Red, but this is fucking God of War, dude. Dude, I've been thinking lately for whatever reason, man. I don't know why. I'm like, I just got to play Ragnarok, dude. I have
That's how
not
you're feeling.
fucking played that
Oh, you
game yet.
haven't played it.
God of War, yeah. I
That game is
played.
shit.
I stopped.
No, I'm joking.
I'm actually mad that I haven't played it. I
No,
have an issue.
no. I said it was bad, but I was actually kidding. Um,
Oh yeah, it's
yeah,
fucking
no,
God.
I'm
Right. It's just
joking.
like
Uh, yeah, I liked it. It took me a while to beat it. I was playing it off and on, like sporadically, for a while. It didn't quite hook me like that, if I'm being honest. But
the first one just had its special, right?
something about the simplicity of that
Yeah.
story, that's really really good. But
I love.
I feel like Ragnarok has a lot more going on, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or a bad thing. But I
That
mean,
sounds like one
I
of those.
enjoy it. I enjoy it still. But like once I beat it, it was one of those things where I beat it, and then that was. I mean, I did the same thing with
I'm done.
the 2018 too. But like I was just like, once I beat it, I was like, all right, cool.
Once it's gone from my
But no,
system, bro,
definitely
it's
still worth
gone.
a playthrough. Some of those boss fights and stuff are sick. So
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get to it soon because the first game, dude, I had a system with that, dude. I just fucking go on that boat and just complete all this shit just so I could like listen to them talk.
yeah,
And I was just like, dude, that's what that game was about. It's just listening to Mimir and your son talk to you, and like what's his name, Kratos,
yeah.
just talk to
Such
you,
a
man.
weird change of pace from the older games, where you're just freaking destroying everybody. And there's like no time. There's like hardly any downtime in those games. Because like whenever
They're
there
always
is
killing
downtime, you're sitting there like, all right, when is
with the
like something
fucking.
gonna pop out of nowhere and like, yeah,
And those games are really good because they keep the pace. Like they keep introducing shit until the very end, like new weapons and like just like functions. And I like they would keep you because they understood that you can't keep doing the same thing in the game to be that good or that well regarded. Like no, they kept adding things, and even where you're going, it was just crazy, dude. Like I just beat the third one like, a whiles back now, and I was just continually the weakest one was the second one,
I
and
think I
that's
still
that's
haven't beat any of
that's
the original trilogy, but
yeah,
I remember playing them back in the day and just like
great.
being
I mean,
they kind of
still
they kind
iconic,
of
dude.
scared me a little bit when I was younger.
I mean, dude, it's like the first one is scary. The scariest because you go to Hades. I think the original designs for like Hell and Heaven like were better in like the first games. Like the design for Hades was way scarier in the first game, dude. He looks like a skeleton, and Poseidon actually looks like Poseidon. They made him look weird and like I don't know. It's fine. I didn't hate their design in the third one, but that first game had a very. The thing is that the first game was written as one and done. Like he dies at the end. They didn't write a sequel. They it's you can get over it, but it's still kind of a logic leap because there's very finite. The first game, was just very, very good. Honestly, I recommend you play that. The story was just so good, dude. That first game is iconic, and second one just feels like an in between game. It felt like a sequel. It just feels like we have to have it too, but it feels like the most things happen, but it's kind of forgettable. You get your wings. You kill I think Icarus you kill him in the third game, but you do kill a few people in the second one. It's just I can't think of any, man. Or just your armor was awesome, but yeah, the third one you kill everybody. I think you kill Zeus last, but Zeus is your dad. Daddy's like your father. The second game, you find out that your grandfather's like a giant Goliath ogre thing that like is like imagine if like fucking Godzilla hooked up with your mom. Like, how is she alive? Uh, but like that's Zeus's you fight Zeus's grandfather, Kronos. That's his name in the second one. It's really cool. And then he dies, and then Zeus in the last game, and then Kratos dies. I don't know how he keeps fucking dying. Then comes he died in the third. He dies in the
Dude,
third game.
it's like he says, "Death can have me when it earns me."
Yeah, and I guess that he woke up again. They don't explain that shit at all in the new ones. He's just alive. I love that. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I just want to play as Kratos, dude. I don't need fucking explanation. You know, I'm a god. I can do what I want because I'm a god. I do as I please. You know.
Exactly.
But you should play them again. They're a lot of fun, dude. They're completely different,
too,
but
I haven't played them since PS2 era, man.
If you just need like an urge, I just need to fucking smash shit, press square, and just fucking beat them up.
You play them on deck?
Huh? Oh, I did. I played a little bit of what's it called, Sparta, but then I just got it on my VR on my MetaQuest because it's like the camera's inside of it, so I'm like in God of War controlling. It's fucking crazy. You know, I haven't played it in a while. I thought about it. I was like, man, should I put it on my head? It's kind of a pain to put it on. But I mean, as soon as I'm watching and you're controlling little Kratos there, dude, running around, I got to show you that, man. Not many people have experienced that.
No, certainly.
But once you played the God of War in VR, dude,
I'm buying a MetaQuest.
There's different like I don't mean like VR, you know, like VR where you're like the camera, like you move with the gun.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like the camera. I don't know if you ever played one of those games, but there's one that's legit. It's called Moss on the store. That's one of those games where it's just a camera, like you're a floating camera, but it's a third-person game, right? Imagine you're playing Crash Bandicoot, but you're in the game, like the camera,
That's interesting.
So you turn around with the headset on, and you're just gonna see the game surrounding, right? The level, right? So if I'm playing some really old game like Crash Bandicoot with that, not that I have tried because I don't think it works, you'll just see a bunch of like PlayStation 1 graphics, and it's just gonna look like gray screen. But then when I look back down, it'll show the level because that's where all the assets are, right? Everything around you is just space.
That's crazy.
And it's really something to do. But God of War, the cameras zoom. The person that is an app called PSP VR from the MetaQuest. So every PSP game, the guy he put the camera in the game, so you're like inside of it, like you're a floating god controlling Kratos, but like you're in the game. I can't explain it. It's weird,
crazy.
But I can't. It's so weird, dude, but it's so cool.
I've never heard of this type of VR. This is actually kind of blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, it's like if you played a Mario, you know, like Super Mario 3D Land.
Yeah, of course.
You know how it's like overhead.
Yeah.
The only
so it's basically like that.
Yeah, I put this on and I move my head, and Mario stays here. I'm just looking over here in the level, like everything else in the level. I'm looking this way, and I look this way to see what I just did. But the assets sometimes will look off like they haven't.
So you're literally just kind of like observing the game world.
So wherever Mario is on the screen I'm controlling, that's where all the game is loaded there, right? You know how when you're driving in GTA in the older games, and sometimes objects will just appear, like a car, like a building will appear.
Yeah.
There's a render distance or whatever it's called. It's kind of like that, except you're not. I just move my head, and you can see that none of this is loaded. Why? Because the game is right here. I just have this camera where I can move my head over here. Mario's still over there, right? But my head's over here. But I can move my head back to see where Mario's at.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. It'll make more sense once you try. Once I show it to you, man. But you look up that game called Moss on or even Astrobot. There's an Astrobot one too. It's the same thing, Astrobot. It's the same concept. except it's going to be higher quality because that game is made with VR third person in mind. Just look up any game that's a third person VR, and it'll make sense. You're the camera. That's it. You're tracking the movements, and you're the camera. But you don't move. I think you can move the camera with the right analog. It just wouldn't let you move all the way. It would be super slow because they really want you to use your head.
That's pretty dope.
But
That's like
I feel like I made my.
I feel like I would enjoy that more than like first person VR, if I'm being honest.
The VR, I think I would too. I spent forever trying to find a way to place the old OG Crash Bandicoots on that, but PlayStation 1, they use a certain pixel that's impossible, dude. Because I thought of doing it for Metal Gear Solid 1 as well, like Shadow Moses. I wanted to look at it in VR. PlayStation, it's impossible, dude. You have to have a certain system design. And a lot of it, like Resident Evil 1, they use, I forget what it's called, but they use I think they're pre-rendered. That's the word, right? They're already drawn.
Yeah.
Like the environments are drawn, so it would be impossible. You can't do VR with that because it's the painting. It's not a pixel. You can't put your head inside of a picture, right? Like a 2D crayon drawing. That's so crazy to me, dude.
Yeah, it sounds wild.
But I mean, honestly, yeah, you should think about in the future, even if it's not. I know that they made the PS VR2 compatible with Steam. That's crazy. That's like a huge thing because they're doing a partnership low key without saying it with Steam.
Yeah.
If I were recent,
right? That just came out.
Yeah, they just released the photos of the links. They look pretty. They just look like a box. It's called PSVR to Steam Link or PC VR Link. But since I don't know how you feel about it, but I would get like a VR MetaQuest 2, dude, on sale for like $150.
I probably would
just
play that Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah, and that's first person, but if you got to, man, sick. You will.
Still looks sick.
It will. Yeah, you could play
out my
that.
Assassin fantasies.
Yeah, dude, killing people.
With the
PlayStation 3. Yeah, dude, the hidden blades. It's a lot of fun though, dude. But yeah, dude, that's all I got for you for that.
Sick. All right. Well, one last topic. That's Last of Us Season 2. We got a teaser. It was very, very short, very quick. Just showed a few bits and bops, but it looks very faithful from what we saw. I mean, there isn't really much to go off here, but I mean, I'm excited to see what they do with this and how they translate it over to television.
Yeah.
I am still a little bit concerned about, like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be weird seeing Bella Ramsey just out here massacring armies of people.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. They're going to do her like Joel. If they didn't have Joel do it, I would be shocked.
Yeah, probably.
They're going to nerf. They don't even need to nerf her. They're just going to have like 2 people or like 3 people. Because even in the game, it didn't make sense. There's so many fucking people. There's like an armies.
True.
Red Dead 2 doesn't make any sense because they sent armies of henchmen, and then in the cutscene is like, "Oh man, we just made it out of there." I'm like, it looked like an impossible situation, bro. Yeah. And we're just looking quick gaming, dude. That's all. I'll just quick game to everybody. And I don't think my thing is, I'm still concerned about her as the actress. Like, they didn't age her up, and I don't know. It looks interesting for that reason, right? They can't have her looking like Kid Ellie, massacring armies of people.
But that's the thing, though. Bella Ramsey is like 20 or something like that. So like she's technically her age, but like
they didn't do that. They hired her as a 20-year-old that looked super young. That's what they were doing.
True.
And now they can't do that. So it's like, what was your plan?
I just
What
feel
was your
like
plan?
it has. This is really going to be the testament to how good of an actress she is. If we can buy that she is older just from the way she
I
like
didn't like her.
performs, then
You're
that
not Ellie, dude. She literally nothing like Ellie from the games. I'm gonna say it here, dude. I didn't like her from the beginning, dude. Not I didn't hate
Oh,
her. I don't hate her. I like her. I like her. I think she's a good actress. The thing is, I don't hate her, but like you have to ask that question, dude. Is she Ellie? Does this feel like Ellie to you? When you're playing the game, dude, do you feel like this is the same person? That's the only question that really matters, right?
listen.
That's the question
No,
you need
it
to ask
doesn't.
me.
They feel like different Ellies,
The vibes are so
but I
different.
like them both. I like them both. Still, I like what Bella Ramsey brought to the table. I did
But
like her
Joe
version
is
of
the same. Dude. Pedro is just Joel. Like Joel is the same in both of them. I feel like I don't have an issue at all. I'm like he's doing a good job as Joel. This actress is not Ellie though. They chose an actress. They chose. I feel like a lot was based off of chemistry with Pedro Pascal and what kind of kid would need to interact with that version of Joel to get sympathy out of him. If that's the question, I think they did a good enough job. But that's where the issue for me comes out when you're going to see with season 2 how long Joel's in the show. Because what you just asked was really this. When you said we're going to see how good an actor she is, what you were really saying, and I agree with the sentiment, is we're going to see if this show can carry without Pedro Pascal, without Joel. Because we know where it's headed, right? We know where it's headed, right?
We don't know.
There
They're
you
not going to
go.
kill Joel in the
I know,
show. No, I was
your face.
kidding.
I know you can't deny what I'm saying. I can see in your face, right? Is that not the question? Is that not the question that we're gonna have to answer? Can she carry the show on her own? That's the real question here, and I don't know yet. I don't know. Honestly,
I think so.
I feel like
I think I have faith.
we haven't we still haven't had enough scenes. I think for the most part where it's just Ellie doing her thing because we don't know yet, right? And I think that's why because we still haven't been given enough of like okay, because you play as Ellie for a long time by yourself in the second game, right? To get to know her and everything. So and Dina, she's like not a good character in the game. Let's be honest. She's very much just the love interest character that you put in there. It could have been anybody named Dina or another name. They could have named her Carrie, and they're like, we don't care.
I
They're gonna
think
have to
Dina
sell
as
that.
a character is fine. I just think her being there with her on the journey was a little bit. She just kind
It
of felt
felt
there. You know, if they would have kept her in the beginning, in like in
right.
Jackson, you know, I feel like she
Yeah,
would have been more of a standout. But because they brought her along, she just kind of felt like, I mean, she's just kind of here, and then she
yeah.
becomes like a bit of a burden because obviously she gets sick and stuff like that.
It gives Joel they're like, hey, we had Joel and Ellie. We got to have another duo. I'm like, no. The duo
Especially
was Joel and
considering
Ellie.
most of the sections you play as Ellie in the first game, she's by her lonesome. So I
Yeah,
mean,
only one, right? Just the winter section, right? But yeah,
mm,
and I liked her more because of that. I liked her more because I'm like, I'm Ellie, dude. I'm fucking like freezing out by myself, and this shit sucks, dude. I empathize so much more with her because of that, and I fucking survived. Ellie's a badass, dude. Yo, she fucking, and she's cool. She's funny. She doesn't stop being funny, but that was a big part where of the issue with the second game came. It was the first game was Joel's story and it was really good, and you took Joel out of it. Was Ellie really ever her own? I don't ever really know if
so
she's
you don't view Ellie as like low key the main
her
character of The Last
character.
of Us.
I feel like every time we've ever really been with her and attached her is because of other characters that, including her, Joel, right? That makes us care. We cared about her duo. We didn't care about. I would like it more if the game was just about not if they made a game just about Joel in the past. I would like that as a game, but I would like that more than a game just about Ellie. But I would still think that something's missing, and that's Ellie, right? And I don't know if I don't know if that's just the truth or not, but it feels like Ellie can't really exist. She can exist, obviously, she can be alive, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like without Joel, it's not. It's that thing. The Last of Us. It's not anymore. You know, it's like.
So you think The Last of Us isn't? It's a Joel and Ellie thing.
It's sometimes when I was playing it, I'm like, why am I even doing this? Like, why? Joel is dead. Why am I even here? What is the point of this anymore? What is the point of me playing this?
Were you
I don't
like when you
actually
played, or do you have moments when you play Last of Us Part 2 where you're like, damn, this is The Last of Us, and this is what I'm
Yes.
doing.
Yeah. And there was moments where I was just like thinking, playing it right now. I'm like, people were right to be upset. Like, I kept thinking back if this was just when it came out, I would be so pissed. It's all I could be thinking about is, yo, did he just fucking kill Joel like that, dude? And we keep going. I would be like so mad
Yeah.
because
Yeah, I know we
I
did a
waited,
whole
but I
literally
get
discussion on the game, and we were like low key kind of praising it, but like like also the more I think about it, like especially when I think it back, because I just like I did that video, like the Joel and Ellie tribute, and like when I was doing it, looking at footage from like the first game and stuff like that, I'm just like, this game is like just so perfect to me. It like does so many things well, and it's just like it. And then part 2, just I don't want to say it shits on that, but like in some ways it almost it feels
you
like,
can't help but feel
damn,
like it
dude.
does. You know, but feel
It's
like it does,
bittersweet because I
right?
think The Last of Us 2 does tell a really good story, but at the same time, it's like, at what cost? You kind of taint the. I don't want to say you taint the first game because I still think the first game is incredible, but at the same time, it's
Right.
kind of like you play that first game and you know what happens to these characters. That's in your head now.
Yeah.
That's like, and it's not even just in your head; it's literally canon. So
And that's why I disagree and why I think deep down, in the future, we're not going to be saying that. I disagree because, you know, my testament has always been the same. If that was true, we wouldn't be saying that. You wouldn't have even said that sentence because Red Dead Redemption 2, how many times have we said that? Dick all, right? If anything, we say it enriches. If anything, we say the first story looks like it could have been better because that's how fucking good the fucking sequel story was. And I wasn't left thinking, oh, they just shattered all that. No, they fucking made it better. They made me care more about. They made me feel John's pain more at the end of that first game. That's why I disagree because they didn't do their job. I think that Neil Druckmann. I think that he's nowhere near as good as whoever they had at Rockstar who's doing this kind of shit. And I think that's a testament to why the fuck there's not a Last of Us 3 yet. Because where the fuck are we going to take this
a lot
story?
of people
We
think
literally,
Bruce Straley would have saved Last of Us 2 if he would have worked on it.
like, why the like Joel's fucking dead, and we're making Last of Us 3. Sure, but like, it wasn't like he died at the end of the game, sacrificing himself for Ellie. He fucking died in the beginning by a baseball bat. Just some chick wouldn't even
A
like. He
golf
died like
club.
a bitch. He died like a bitch to a golf club. Don't tell me that Neil Druckmann is on the same level as these guys at Rockstar. He's just not. You clearly he's not. These guys fucking had me give a shit about some guy. Some fucking rando Arthur. Who the fuck is this? I don't know this guy. I fucking like him more than John. People were bitching nonstop, bro. Who's Jack? I don't like Jack. Oh, he's so annoying. I don't like his voice. Who's John, dude? Oh, he's so skinny. Oh, he's always talking about Abigail, dude. Give me Daddy Arthur Morgan, bro. That's a real protagonist, right? They didn't, and I guarantee you that Red Dead 3, I don't give a shit, dude. It's gonna be about Dutch, right? Because that's what you do. You don't fucking kill off the character in the beginning and then never. No, we have a good accent. We have a good character here. We're gonna keep them around and use them in all these stories because there's more to tell. If anything, hell, now I'm thinking that's what Last of Us should have been. Our story in reverse, dude. We get like the ending, and then we get the second game or the duology at this point where we see Joel do all this fucked shit. You know, maybe Ellie's mom. You know, see how she got there. That's one thing this show did right. I think they made Ellie's mom a character. It played by her, sure, but it was still very interesting. And like, I was honestly I was like, fucking Ellie, the actress, they should have just had her play Ellie because she's older, but she fucking actually she actually gave the vibes of Ellie, did not just her voice, but like her mannerisms, everything. She's fucking like Ellie, and I don't know, dude. All I know is there was like one meme. It wasn't really nice, but it was still funny. Where she's Ellie, the actress, she's like smiling at Joel. It's like she looks so fucking creepy, dude, in this meme. And I was like, this is what she did to Ellie. And I was like, you're wrong for this. You're wrong for this. But I understand how easy it is for these kind of things to happen. Because if you're making something, you gotta cover it from all bases. You know what I mean? You gotta protect it from any criticism like that. But I'm like, if I saw this shit and I didn't watch the show at all, because I watched it, right, and I liked it. If I saw this meme, I'd be like, these motherfuckers just shat all over The Last of Us, dude. They don't give a fuck about The Last. Look what they did to fucking Ellie. You look at her, she looks like a psychopath in that fucking clip. But they did a really good job, I think. I think. But I still didn't buy the bond between them as much. I don't think they spent enough time together. The way that he acts at the
especially
end,
because
when he
I know a lot of people love episode 3. I think it's very well made, but also a bit too much of a departure for me. I feel like we should have had more Joel and Ellie.
Oh, I know. No, that episode was fucking. That should have been like one, like fucking, like a couple scenes, or not a full fucking. You stole away from the actual episode because I get it.
Yeah,
sure, right.
I wanted to. I was pretending for a while after it came out. I wanted to be on that train. I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. It's so. It is. It's a great episode. But at the same time, the whole time I'm thinking like. Like I'm like, dude, I'm ready to get back to the journey.
I understand. These are the kind of things that happen because, sure, culture, right? Gay people deserve a happy ending. I'm not saying they don't, right?
And it wasn't even all that happy.
Yeah,
but I guess maybe it's happier than in the game. So
yeah, I guess, right? But it's the same issue the boys had, where season 3 wasn't as good because they kept Maeve alive. She should have died. It would have been better. It just would have been better. But she has to be with her girlfriend because these groups of people need to see that they can have a happy ending. That's the reason why that was done both times. Don't doubt any other reason. That's exactly why. It's just a matter of, is this the right implementation of this? These messages are important for these people, right? But even then, I don't think that the message is heard or even effective because it's not. It does the story a disservice. So it just doesn't work. It doesn't really work. It feels like it does, but it doesn't. And it gets a lot of acclaim for now, but in the end, it doesn't really work. Not for the grand scope of this show. This episode's not going to be remembered. It just won't. It just won't be ever. I promise. As much praise as it gets, this episode and this show as a whole, it's not going to be remembered because it doesn't really add anything to the actual characters that we're going through this with. Yeah. So I just feel like when it comes to this controversial kind of iffy, because there are nasty people out here. They don't really want to empathize. And I don't want to be sounding like I don't empathize, right? Especially when it's at the cost of a show and the fiction. It's like all fiction, right? But I do feel like if these messages and you want to portray these things more, I mean, like, what does it say about our society, or even what's really what can you and I go back to as the point where these things start to happen, where stories, but also they have to be because society isn't being good to certain people right now, and ultimately these messages, I don't think that you're not doing anybody favors by putting them in like this. You know what I mean? It's just ultimately like Brokeback Mountain. I've seen that movie. It's very sad. I was never left thinking, oh, but they had to throw in that shit. You know what I mean? It was a very brutal ending, very sad, but it all felt in place because that was the point. Yeah. That was the message. Last of Us with this game, I mean, that whole episode wasn't really for you or me. That was for a group of people. So this show's not really for video. This is a opportunity, I feel like, for the people that are creating this to send out messages, and they want that to be heard at any cost. I can view that as respectable, admirable, but it still doesn't feel. It did feel like there were certain things that ultimately, in my opinion, soured the experience because of that ultimate thing, which I told you in the very beginning, which is why I ultimately had issues with the show. Their relationship felt forced at the end. You took away screen time for these two characters, and this wasn't the only episode. The one with what's his called, the brothers, right, from the first game. They introduced that villain, that woman. It just felt like, why? We don't need, like, Henry. Yes, I love these characters. We don't need to know who they're running from. You know what I mean? It didn't really matter at all. They could have just been in the game. They were just explorers, right? They just ran into them. There's no, oh man, we're looking from these other people that are corrupt. All you're doing is taking away, and even the DLC episode, or like the game, even that, I was like, you guys could have made that, like, Euphoria, the show Euphoria. They had like a holiday special for Zendaya and Hunter Schafer's characters episodes. That shouldn't have been in this show. That shouldn't have been in this season. That should have been like a spin off, like a one off special, like movie, short movie, like the games. Treat that. That's like the equivalent to a DLC. Is like, oh, we have a one off special, in the other section of our show, not a whole episode dedicated where Joel's out of commission, right? Because that's how I played it. I never even played the DLC until after the game, and I never felt like this needed to be in the game. It felt like an added flavoring that was like, that makes Ellie's character richer, right? This first season needed to be more about their relationship and Joel, in my opinion, to make that transformation, not transfer, that whole outcome, murdering everybody, more deserved and more, making sense, and it didn't really make sense. It kind of felt like he went like a psychopath. He just fucking lost it and shot everybody, in a hospital, dude. Which he did in the game, but it was a lot more like purposeful. It didn't feel like he just start shooting at people, dude. But I don't know, man. I need to play it again, obviously, and I need to watch it again because it's been too long. But that was my. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on Last of Us 2, which it sounds like I am, and I kind of am. I don't really like it that much. It's very depressing for me. I don't really like. Lately, I don't like being made to feel really depressed. I can only watch Glenn getting smashed like once or twice, and then I can watch that's that part of the show anymore. It's kind of the same, I think, with this Last of Us. I mean, even The Walking Dead, I don't think I can watch Rick the movie again or the show again because, or the spinoff, because I keep thinking about Carl, and that's so fucking sad, dude. His fucking son died, man.
Are you talking about the ones who live?
Yeah, and I've watched it. It was very good. It was very great. Rick and Michonne, they're goals forever, right? But I mean, dude. I mean, you know how it is, dude. Fucking, I'm thinking about fucking Carl, dude. Kind of like I think about Joel, and kind of like how I think about, to a certain extent, when I get to chapter 5, Arthur, man, I'm gonna be like, I can't do this anymore, man. It's fucking sad. I want to be when they're all happy, dude. I saw like a post and I was like,
I need to play freaking Star Wars Outlaws or Assassin's Creed and just like get lost in a world and explore.
Happy ending. There's not like some fucking character like deep shit going on, and oh man, or he's fucking struggling with abandonment and parental issues. His fucking pseudo fathers doesn't really love him. He's using me, and I don't know if Dutch is, but like fucking. All I know, someone said, and I'm like, I should have fucking made a save on chapter 2 because they're right. Horseshoe overlooked chapter 2. That's like good as it gets in that game. Like you're that happy. Nobody's dead yet, and you're all just in the camp doing stuff.
Right. Clement's Point is pretty good too for a bit up until Sean gets got. But
Yeah, and they look really similar, so I keep forgetting. Oh, that's a different place. I keep forgetting. I'm out in Horseshoe Overlook, Clemens Point, and I hate it. Is there one more place? Please tell me Shady Bell's not the last place, dude. 'Cause I fucking hate going upstairs to that room, dude. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
like go up the fucking stairs.
There's one camp that you're at like when you first get back from Guarma, and then you go to Beaver Hollow.
Okay. So this camp right here is the last one before Arthur's Sixth that I'm at right now. Shady Bell.
Yeah.
Bro, they put the worst hideout with like my shit. I hate it. I hate that. I hate this place, dude. Oh, we just got shot up, and I'm almost. This is when Micah. This is because of Micah, right? I think. Don't tell me, but all the O'Driscolls showed up
Yeah.
to our hideout.
Yeah.
Tyrion came in with his head on a horse,
Yeah.
dude. I forgot
Crazy.
about that, dude. That's some Game of Thrones shit right there. Dude. That's some hardcore shit, dude.
Man. Great game.
Yeah, dude. I can't wait though.
But yeah, Last of Us Season 2. I have faith. But ultimately,
I just look at it now, look fucking nuts.
Yeah, ultimately we'll see. We shall see how who knows what they're gonna do with this. They're talking about dragging it out for a few seasons and all that. It's crazy. I feel like they have some crazy stuff planned for the rest of this story. Yeah. But
yeah,
that's it. That's everything.
That's it, man. You've been listening to the Real Time Podcast with EriQ and Erick, man. It's our new special segment, man. It's exclusively, exceptionally exclusive, you know. So that's 4 years for you right there, man. Don't ever forget.
Yep. I hope you enjoyed hearing some of our takes. Some hot, some cold, some just right. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, some just warm like the other side of your pillow and cold like the other. And that's what we're about right here, man.
Absolutely.
And if you don't like it, you know where to put it.
All right. Enough of that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, that's it.
But yeah, man. Nice talking to you. Great conversation. You have a good night.
You too, bro. You have a good night.
Yeah, stay safe.
All right, you too.